to Shaquille Ahmed in the ODIs. The first ball of the innings, you can call it a diamond duck in some cultures, you'll call it a royal duck in others, depends on exactly where you come from. But the very first ball of the entire match, not just the innings, Canada off to a disastrous start.
Yeah, definitely. The only way Navneet Dhaliwal is going to see it is it's a golden duck for him, no matter when you see it. And it's just some of the mental scars for Aaron Johnson showing here early. Saw the left arm spinner and said, I don't want to take strike. Navneet Dhaliwal exposed. And the other thing, Lenny, we were just talking about it. How much turn is this wicket going to take? Well, that first ball showed us, didn't it?
I felt in the pitch reports a very dry surface. There was dew in the outfield, but one thing that the ground staff have done so well here is keep the square really dry, even with that kind of autumnal or fall dew that you would expect. 12 o'clock starts, any assistance you're going to get, whether you're spinning or seaming the ball, is probably going to be early, and Oman showing why they wanted to have a ball first. Dilpreet Bajwa to the crease at number 3. The outside edge beaten already. I think both sides have picked a few spinners too few in this 11. Maybe it will be Oman that have enough cover because they can go Aki Bilias, they can go Zishan Maksud, Ayan Khan. But what about Canada leaving out Anj Patel?
Anj Patel is just a spinner that offers so much variation. They've got a lot of spin in their team, you got to remember. You have like some Harsh Thakur and Pargat Singh that might come into play as well.
Well, no Pargat Singh in the ODIs, which again has been a big surprise, isn't it? Because he was in such sensational form. I suppose if you look at their 11, we'll take a look at the end of the over again, but Parveen Kumar can bowl his left arm spin, Sad bin Safar. But from there, Harsh Thakur, maybe, so you can get probably 12 dedicated overs of spin, can you?
Yeah, my apologies there, Pargat Singh. I was thinking more Nicholas Curtin and Aaron Johnson, they fancy a spin.
Dilpreet Bajwa. Another option.
But again, that's not where you want to get to in a bowling innings, is it, Lenny?
Look at this, good captaincy from Aki Bilias. He's put his former captain in close catching. As we're going to see a mix-up. Oh, a horrible mix-up, a chance. And it's going to be 2. Aaron Johnson has just turned his back on Dilpreet Bajwa. And an absolute calamity. There are no runs on the board. They've lost the second wicket. Bajwa wanted the single. Johnson did not. And Canada are none for 2.
Lenny, I'm a little bit of a loss for words what I just seen there. Aaron Johnson did not want it. Did not want it whatsoever. Bajwa nearly running 2 there. And have a look at this. Finds the middle of the bat. Hits it pretty decently. Timed it well, but straight to the man. He takes off. Johnson's turned his back, and he's well short of his crease.
So it's 2 wickets in the first over. Bajwa's gone for none. It's none for 2.
All new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Well, what a start we have had. An absolute disaster, to be honest, for Canada. And, well, the second wicket, certainly a self-inflicted one. You probably can't blame Navneet Dhaliwal too much from that first delivery, but what was going on here?
Well, you'd have to say the pressure's now all on Aaron Johnson. Calamitous start here for Canada. None for 2. The skipper's out there now, Nicholas Curtin. He's been in fine form, but he's got a big job ahead of him, doesn't he, Lenny?
Look at this field. This looks more like a test match than a T20I. Catchers in and around. Now, that is going to go a long way over the top. And umpire has absolutely no interest. Big appeal from Shaquille Ahmed. Oman finally showing some life here. It bounces the issue for this delivery.
Yeah, definitely. It's just going over the top. Rohan Shah and Arnold Madella, the 2 captains, the 2 Canadian standing umpires out there. Good decision by Rohan Shah there on that occasion.
Back live now with you. And you just missed a dot ball there. It's going to be a wicket maiden. In fact, 2 wickets have fallen in it, 1 to a run out. The score, Canada, none for 2.
Is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. The no frill thing to do.
Two wickets have fallen in it, 1-2 a run out. The score, Canada, none for two.
Is giving back to the community and making sure that
Well, an extraordinary start to this contest. We felt that it was going to be very, very difficult
that's how I see the store.
For
the no frill thing to do.
Oman to turn things around. You have to remember they've got the factor of the two T20s in 2 days as well. Extraordinary start to this contest. For
the no frill thing to do.
At the top has been very productive, and Cali Mullet, who's had a great tour, he's been the outstanding bowler for Oman. He'll open up. T20s in 2 days as well. Aaron Johnson will get off the mark immediately with a single, just getting on top of the bounce. Arsenal, it's a long way back from here for Canada. I know it's early to be talking about anything fatal in this contest, but Oman have a real window into this game.
Yeah, certainly, they do bat long. You got to remember, Ansh Patel left out, Dylan Haliger back in. Plenty of batting to go, but the more pressure you put on the middle over, the happier Oman's going to be. And what a dream start. They would have been deflated last night. Wasn't the way they wanted to start this No Frills T20 Cup. But this start from Shakil Ahmed and the fielders, they look like they're up for the battle here. Left out, Dylan Haliger back in. Plenty of batting to go, but the more pressure you put on the middle over, the happier Oman's going to be. What a dream start. They would have been deflated last night. Wasn't the way they wanted to start this No Frills T20 Cup. This start from Shakil Ahmed and the fielders, they look like they're up for the battle here.
Very aggressive single taken, and given that there's already been a run out, you just wonder will Curtin and Johnson have had their hearts in their mouths for a moment, but the communication was better this time. Ayan Khan showing that the outfield, not the square, is still a bit dewy, actually just slipped up.
Just a slip, but Aaron Johnson, you don't want to turn your back on your captain. You might be able to do it on Dilpreet Bajwa. Don't want to do it to Nick Curtin, your captain. Rightfully so, coming across for that single. But yeah, you're right, Lenny. It's something that we have to be mindful of. There's a lot to do out there this morning, wasn't there?
Outfield, not the square, is still a bit dewy, actually just slipped up. One slip in place, he's the only catcher.
Aaron Johnson, you don't want to turn your back on your captain. You might be able to do it on Dilpreet Bajwa. Don't want to do it to Nick Curtin, your captain.
Difficult there on that.
Rightfully so, coming across for that single.
Part of ground.
Yeah, you're right.
Were you surprised to see no changes for Oman, given
there's a lot to do out
there? A good day yesterday.
No, they certainly didn't. And again, we saw the one what change for Nepal made. They made that one change in bringing Gulshan Jai in, and he was the impact player for them. So just getting somebody in, getting fresh legs. And yeah, you're right. Maybe the leg spinner, Siddharth. For me, the man, Mehran Khan, I was surprised he was not brought into the team. And again, we saw the one what change for Nepal made. They made that one change.
He's helped away behind square, but there is protection out there. Rafiola will do the fielding. He batted outstandingly well at the end. He's really the only one who ever looked like scoring on a ball.
For me, the man,
consider something rogue and promoting him up the order might depend upon, I suppose, the total that Canada will get.
Well, I think in the bigger picture, it probably saved him a spot in this 11 today, because the way he bowled, he was not going to be in this team. But they are going to have to do something differently. The plans just have not worked for them. Canada here have given them an opening. Ali Malay, he's bowled well all this entire tour. I think in the bigger picture, it probably saved him.
Now, this is going to be interesting. I think height is the issue. Kalimullah, he can tend to get carried away with his appeals. And Arlen Medella is saying, well, it might have pitched outside leg, might have been missing leg, might have been going over the top. Not a lot going for it. I think this is a good decision.
This entire tour. Might have just pitched on, Lenny, but I think it's certainly going over the top. Nicholas Curtin, he's a tall man. He's well over 6 foot. And in the top of the pads, that's going to be comfortably over, especially with the height that Kalimullah is delivering from.
Not a lot going for it. Problems. Look at that sharp bounce. And Curtin, he wrings his hand with a stinger. That is going to hurt. And he may well need to be checked out. The physio could be called for here. So we get to the end of the second over.
That's going to score 4 for 2. Especially with the height that Kalimullah is delivering from.
Curtin, he wrings his hand.
He is supporting cricket in more ways than ever.
Going to hurt.
Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. TD, ready for you.
It's Sameh Siddharth Srivastava is the one for me. He was in the ODI squad as well. He didn't play an ODI. Now, he hasn't played an ODI yet in his career, so you might say, okay, he's not ready for that format yet. But in 7 T20Is, he picked up 8 wickets, including a best of 5 for 18. These are helpful turning conditions. Wrist spin wins you matches, whatever the format. But particularly in T20I cricket. For me, I think that's a slightly disappointing fact. Really Benderson from really Vasanaya did. Although that Canada aren't necessarily particularly great against the wrist spin either. He's not going to play today. He's going to play all tournament.
Might be said he's not going to have the scars of the ODI series or the T20s or the game yesterday. I apologize. So you bring in a fresh face just to change things a little bit, change the dynamic of the team, change the dynamic, the feeling around the team. And he'd be buzzing to get an opportunity, wouldn't he, Lenny? Having watched the ODIs, having watched the first game yesterday, been on tour all, and seen some great scenery around Canada, but just hasn't seen the field yet.
Cut away, finds a gap. Now, how quick is the outfield? Just slowing it down. We'll get to the rope because that's the shorter side today. 60 metres.
Watched the ODIs,
Steve
and
just
watched the first game yesterday.
Slow
Been
down
on
as
tour
it
all,
approached the no frills.
some great scenery around Canada, but just
That's a
hasn't
nice
seen the
stroke
field
of
yet.
the skirt.
Yeah, somebody in his form's not going to miss out there. Just a little bit too much width on that occasion. Shaquille Ahmed. Nicholas Kirk pounces on it, gets to the boundary, just barely. Watch the ODIs, and watch the first game yesterday. Been on tour all, it's a great scenery around Canada, but just hasn't seen the field yet. Yeah, somebody in his form's not going to miss out there. Just a little bit too much width on that occasion. Shaquille Ahmed.
Cali Muller's giving it up. Once again, that same area.
Just there.
The idea in terms of what Shaquille Ahmed's trying to do is trying to angle it across. Reads it very well.
It's a great scenery around Let's see, was that wide? Was somebody in his form's not going to miss out there. That space for himself. Given the opportunity, just get that through the offside. It was a tight offside run as well. Just there. Kashyap Prajapati, he was on the dive there, not able to put that off. Great scenery around Let's see, was that wide? Was somebody in his form's not just miss out there. That space for himself. Given the opportunity, just get that through the offside. It was a tight offside run as well. Kashyap Prajapati, he was on the dive there, not able to put that off.
Left-handers have to be particularly good at, don't they, in terms of
Let's see, was that wide? Somebody in his form's not just miss out there. That space for himself. Given the opportunity, just get that through the offside. It was a tight offside run as well. Kashyap Prajapati, he was on the dive there, not able to put that off. Looked at his game 3 years ago. That seems that wide. He's completely that space for himself. Struggled. Look at his create those areas, create those scoring opportunities. The ball was getting so wide. He's on the dive there. Pressure from captaincy sort of got to him. Look at his game 3 years ago. That seems that wide. Like there. Aaron Johnson, he's under pressure himself, Lenny, isn't he? No runs so far in this home series. Especially going 2 innings down, exposing Gabby Dhaliwal to the first ball. It wasn't a joint decision. And he's taking the first ball almost every game that he's played this year. Not taking it today. Looks what's going on. Like there. Aaron Johnson, he's under pressure himself, isn't he? No runs so far in this
let's just get a quick look
home series. Especially going 2 innings down, exposing Gabby Dhaliwal to the first ball. And it wasn't a joint decision.
For whatever you're into, get your chance.
So halfway through the power play, it's belonged thus far to Oman with the double wicket maiden to start. One going to Shaquille Ahmed, the other going to, well, bit of a calamitous run out to his field three. Badger wanted a single, Aaron Johnson did not, and Badger was brought short. The throw going to keepers out by quite a distance. Nicholas Curtin, you were just talking about him in the last over, Arsalan. His game has evolved almost to an unrecognisable point. If you think about his initial 18s in Canada colours, in ODIs he was striking at 50 and 60, and T20s 80 and 90. How has he transformed his game?
I think there's a couple of factors, Lenny. One, if you shake his hand, he's a lot stronger than he was. He was always a fit man, wasn't he? Tall, lanky, but you just see the size of those arms. He's gotten a lot stronger, put on a lot of muscle. So there's that confidence that he can clear any boundary there is in the world.
Nicely cut away. Look at the timing as well. It's not just all power. There's real finesse and poise from Canada's captain too. That is a fine stroke.
Yeah, certainly. And just showing there, talks about his strength. But the other thing he's always had is a technique suitable for any format of the game. And now the confidence has gotten into him. He's able to show his full array of shots. And that one's just found the gap all the way for 4. Again, not that wide. Not a bad length from Kalimula, but just making that room for himself.
Really wasn't that wide. He's taken that almost. We spoke about Travis Head. There's real shades of Travis Head in that stroke. And that's so frustrating for the bowler because that's pretty much where he's trying to target. Just above the height of the stumps, in and around a 4th. I don't think it was even as wide as a 5th stump. So brilliant batting from Curtin.
The last thing I'll note on that one of the things I've noticed with him over the years and how the conversation's been, especially early on in his career, is all about how he looked, how he felt at the crease. You'll see him, he's got crisp new white sneakers on today, white spikes on today. He might have cleaned them last night before this game, so he cares about that. But that doesn't translate into his batting. Over the last couple of years, he's really focused on how do I make runs versus how do I look making those runs.
I'm also hearing from you the rig is in good shape. He's been working hard, isn't he? Getting big, getting stacked. It's a modern T20 game. You cannot afford to be not in the prime of your condition. Is he the Marcus Stoinis of the Canadian team? That is he?
Well, I think there's a few guys that will fancy that role. But I can tell you, he's always fit. It was never a fitness thing. It was a strength thing.
I think
you could just see, just from 3 years ago, the bulk that he's added on. The arms, the veins are popping out like you'd never believe, Lenny. Kind of like you in your early 20s.
My God, clearly didn't know me 2 decades ago. Oh, Lord. He was never even close to that. I wish I was. I found the gym a bit too late in life, and now it's an absolute chore. They power down there last evening. Again, you wouldn't believe it, Arsenal. They just played a game. They won a game for the first time in 163 days. Gaga Tamata, the consultant coach for the tour, is out there drilling. Crucial Bertel and Defender Signori, probably the 2 best fielders in the team, for the best part of an hour in the outfield. And then after that, they go back to the hotel and they're doing a gym session.
You would have found me at somewhere completely other side of the hotel besides the gym.
Incredible,
that drop catch. It's
absolutely incredible.
That's the professionalism, isn't there? The dedication of the sport. How much Nepal loves it. They want it. Again, they're not satisfied with that one win. How many days has it been, Lenny? 163 days?
63 days is the gap between that win.
They can't be satisfied with just that one win.
Incredible appetite and hunger for the game. Again, this one is going to be going over the top. Kalimula. Oh, wow. He gives it everything in the appeal. There's no way that one was going to go on and hit the stumps. 4 have been bowled.
Maybe going down, but I think that's probably going to hit leg stump, but going over the top. So on the line of leg stump, but going over the top, going to miss. 18 for 2 after 4.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
A really tricky start here for Canada. Would have come into this game feeling as though Canada are massive favourites, not just because of the fact that they played 5 and they've won 5 on this home series that they're hosting, the 6 ODIs and 6 T20s, but also just the fact that you look at the form that Oman have shown, as we see Ahmed Fayyad Butt come into the attack, a really good stop. is Shoaib Khan there at forward point. Oman yesterday, bat ball in the field, roundly outplayed in all three disciplines. They just looked like a team ill at ease with themselves. No confidence, particularly at the batting.
Yeah, certainly not. And that's, I think, something that we've spoken about already quite a bit. Lenny, where can they find that confidence from? They just need to change that dynamic within the playing 11. Those wickets helped out there in the field. You can see they're buzzing already with those 2 wickets up front. Just not even on that delivery. A little bit of indecision from the Canadian squad. They'll have confidence as a team, the Canadian team. But just for individual players, there'll be a little bit of pressure. Aaron Johnson especially one of them. A lot of pressure. He hasn't had any runs. For Oman, they're trying to find answers as a team. For Canada, they're trying to find the answers as individuals.
Johnson under a bit of pressure, 2 off 6. Look at that 2 off 7. This is a man who, early in his T20I career, at one point held the highest strike rate in the world game. Now that's come down somewhat. Still has great career numbers, averaging the best part of 42 centuries in just 24 innings, 650s, strike rate over 153. But he's just been a little shy of runs, isn't he? At one stage, he had 4 ducks and 5 innings between the Netherlands and here.
Yeah, he just has no confidence, and you can just tell it's not that free-flowing. He's a big man as well, so when he walks out to the crease, you can just see that body language, and the body language has changed since early on in his career.
He just hasn't found any rhythm or timing so far. That'll be a leg by, I would imagine. It's come off the inner thigh pad.
It's not that free-flowing.
Might even come up towards.
He's a big man as well, so when he walks out to the crease, you can just see that body language, and the body language has changed since it's early on. Yeah, certainly. If we did say it was when you were out there at the pitch report, you said it was dry. And that's the one thing that definitely stood out to us. A lot drier than the surface yesterday. A lot less grass covering as well. And it looks like there are a couple of demons in there, so they have to be watchful. Just the last thing I'll note on Aaron Johnson, Lenny. He does have a little bit of a bum knee. And when you're looking for form, when you're searching for form, the one thing that helps is to be able to take those quick singles, turn the 1s into 2s to try and gain your confidence into getting the boundaries. Just because he's not the swiftest between the wickets, he's not able to do that. So he's trying to hit himself into form. Just unable to find it so far.
I thought the innings he played in that final ODI was an important one. Both in the context of the match, but just his own kind of general state of mind as well. Came in as a concussion replacement.
He's not the swiftest between the wickets. He's not able to do that. So he's trying to hit himself into form. He's unable to find it so far.
Technique and style. Final ODI is back to Aaron Johnson we all know and love, which is, see ball, hit ball, really go after things.
His own general state of mind as well.
These T20Is.
He's not the swiftest between the wickets. He's not able to do that. So he's trying to hit himself into form. He's unable to find it so far.
First game against Oman,
back to Aaron Johnson like loads with his C-ball, hit ball, really go after things. His own general state of mind. As well, T20 is like
he's not the swiftest between the wickets. He's not able to do that. So he's trying to hit himself into form. He's unable to find it so far.
First game
you noted the final ODI in the innings there. One thing that probably helped him was he came in with a fresh mind. He wasn't expected to play. He wasn't expected to bat. He wasn't thinking about it the night before. He came in thinking that he might have just had to run at the water a little bit for a few overs. Instead, he finds himself out in the middle. You don't have that time. You can just go in with a clear mind and bat and play. And I think that helped him. He's got to find that from somewhere. Got to clear the head. Forget the scores that have gone past. It's all about today. That he might have just passed it. Got to figure out how to make runs today.
Really good, sharp, aggressive bouncer. There's never any shortage of aggression when Fayaz Butt is about, and that's a great start from him. Just 2 runs from the over, only 1 off the bat. Score after 5. It's 20 for 2.
Sour cream chips. Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
Welcome back to the action. We're going to see a slight change in the commentary box. I can tell. Alongside Vivek Jacob. Hey, Vivek, another day of cricket and another excellent start for Oman.
they'll be so pleased, so thrilled. That start the first over, taking the 2 wickets. Obviously, a bit of miscommunication between Belpri Bajwa and Aaron Johnson. And the first ball, you get Navneet Dhaliwal. But a bit of a recovery here. Nicholas Kirk, captain, coming in under pressure. His side up against it. And it's going pretty well. We'll see if Aaron Johnson can get going here in this final over of the power play.
And this is more like Nick really struggling against Nepal in the first game that he played. 5 off the deliveries, really never seen him play that slow. That's pulled away, and it's going to be yet another wicket for Canada. Aaron Johnson just looking to get the momentum going. Unfortunately, he's found the fielder, Kashyap Prajapati, there in the deep. Well-judged catch, but this is some serious trouble for Canada as they are now 20 for 3.
Big trouble. You look at Aaron Johnson, slow start, and getting the short delivery. Wanted to pounce on it. Again, here, a final over of the power play. Hit it flat and hard, but straight down the fielder at deep bind leg. Takes it pretty comfortably there in the end.
Big trouble here for Canada. 20 for 3. Aaron Johnson, who can be quite destructive once it's set. He's out, and it's a short stay in the middle for him today. He's gone for 2 of 9 deliveries. Oman, good toss to win today.
No question about it. Seemed confident about wanting to put Canada in and put some pressure on, and they've certainly done that. You take 3 wickets in the power play as a bowling side, you are ticking all the boxes and feeling really good. And then on top of that, you keep the run rate under 4 runs and over so far. Nothing to complain about. Canada now, another man for a crisis, Shreyas Mova. We're looking to build a partnership here with Nicholas Kirk. And it's tricky one.
When you're batting in tricky situations, you want to try and make as few mistakes as you can. That run out was very costly. It was the big wicket of Dilpreet Bajwa. Your take on that? What's the ball do you think it would have been?
Well, I just don't think there was a yes call to be made, regardless of whose it was. He timed it pretty well, straight to mid-on. There was no run there. You got to know who you're running with as well. Tight single that would have been. There's no reason to take that risk in that situation.
Well, Rafaela brought into the attack, and first ball he strikes to the wicket of Aaron Johnson. And just missing the outside edge. He's definitely getting some movement out there. And Oman are well over on top of Canada here. They are really probing away with some good bowling.
Pretty interesting discussion there between a few of the Omani fielders and Shreyas Mova, asking him if he nicked it. Shreyas with a firm no. We thought they might have dropped the chance there, but didn't seem to catch the edge. Tough first ball. Shreyas has survived it, but you have to say, Rafaela has got his tail up and feeling really good. Could have had 2 and 2.
Just slight delay as we get the sandwiches covered. Find the bowlers run up. Interesting as well, because Nick Kirk said he would have matched that firstly had he won the toss. He struggled batting first against Nepal, and similar trends today. Oh, that's a tight call. That is a tight call. Arnold Medella, the umpire from the pavilion end, and that looked like it was just inside that wide line.
Yeah, you look at that guideline. If anything, it was maybe right on the line, but a harsh call. And fortunately, for Rafaela, he's got to bowl that one again.
He's off the mark, Shreyas Mova, and this is a direct hit. Rohan Shah, the legs square leg umpire says not out. Just see the frustration on Shakil Ahmed. Cannot believe his luck. Cannot believe that that decision did not go Oman's way. He's down. He's sulking a little bit there.
Shakil Ahmed absolutely stunned that wasn't given out. Direct hit. Again, it looked like Shreyas Nova was about to get off the mark, and then a brilliant throw. Bit of a tight single, obviously.
How close was this? Nick Curtin is quick. Does get across in a flash. There's no questions there. He's made it in quite comfortably.
He is in. He is in. Speedy between the wickets, as always, Nicholas Curtin. Does well to get home there, and Shakil Ahmed, looking at the replay, got nothing to be mad about.
You always feel that you're a bit closer than you are, aren't you? When you're out in the middle, you feel like every decision may just be going in your way. Good aggression this from Rafaela, hitting the deck hard.
A bit of fire there. You like to see that from the fast bowlers.
Well, if there's one thing that's kind of exposed here for Canada is that the batting is struggling a little bit in the T20s. Saw it against Nepal. It was a low-scoring thriller. And thanks to some magnificent bowling from the Canadian bowlers and incredible fielding, really good catch was taken in that game. It would have been Nepal winning that one as well.
You have to imagine on some level, you talked about Nicholas Curtin wanting to bat first if he won the toss. Maybe on some level, there is just more confidence in the bowling right now. Saying, hey, we'll back our strength to finish the game.
That's going to be like left-hand, right-hand combination. Just making things a little bit difficult out there for Rafaela.
Yeah, that's always a tough one. Gotta be consistent with that line and length and adjust quickly. Rafaela obviously off to a dream start this over. Could have maybe on another day had 2 wickets and 2 balls. A little bit wayward since. And obviously that run-out chance as well. So a lot happening this over. But at the end of the day, you'd have to say Oman still well and truly on top at this stage.
Discussions between Rafaela and some of the senior players. Someone out there is calling for a catch. I'm not really sure what they saw because there's miles between the bat and ball there.
I think that's a fielder who's very supportive of us. He's a good teammate.
Well, incredible weather we're having here, almost in October. Very unlike Canadian fall. Normally, the leaves will change color. It would have been cold, windy, rainy. Counting our blessings here.
Instead, we've got a beautiful day of cricket.
And that's going to be an even bigger wide. That's going to be 5 wides, in fact. Rafaela really not getting his line correct here. Struggling against the left-hander.
And you can tell that it's in his head now. Was coming over the wicket. Now he's switched to around the wicket. Just can't get that line. And again, discussing what his options are. But it's all going haywire here. Undoing a lot of the good work that was done.
Still got 2 legal deliveries coming over. And what started out as a very good over is now turning out to be a costly one. Single picked up. That's pushing to the offside by Nick Curtin. The opening pair for Canada, Vivek. I think that's the best. That's the best pair we've got between Rodney Dhaliwal and Aaron Johnson.
It's definitely a trusted duo. Obviously, this is the pair that opened the batting at the T20 World Cup. There's some level of comfort there. And obviously Canada is riding that for now. We saw opportunities given to players when Martin Taliwal wasn't there in the tour of the Netherlands.
Going to be a couple more runs here. No, they're going to stick to one. And that's going to be the end of the 6th over. Canada 31 for 3.
Long-Way Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Wickets have really done some damage in terms of making use of those 6 power play overs. Some good bowling and some poor running today for Canada. Find themselves in a bit of a hole, but they'll know, knowing both Shreyas Nova and Nick Curtin, skipper, out there right now. I think they could still get a decent total. There is batting in this side, and both of these two out there in the middle, they're seasoned campaigners.
These two have dug Canada out of trouble before, so they will have full belief that they can do it again. And you've got Mr. X Factor of late, Dylan Halliger, back in the side. He's in probably for some lusty blows.
Well, it's just such a confidence booster, isn't it, to know that, yes, your batting struggled a little bit. You've got Dylan Halliger coming into the bat. And more importantly, you've got him coming in with the ball today. So just knowing that your spearhead bowler is back in your side, so be opening the ball, or opening the bowling, hitting the deck hard, getting the movement that he usually does. Such a confidence booster, just giving you a bit of ease in your mind, knowing that he's going to be asking questions of the Oman batters when they come out in the second innings.
Quality all-rounders, such great balance.
Guided nice and fine behind the keeper, and single picked up. And I think at this moment, at this point in the game, the singles are fine. I think if we can lay a good foundation, there's certainly firepower in this team, and both of those two batting in the middle.
यह वनडे करियर में भारत के विश्व प्रसिद्ध बल्लेबाज विराट कोहली और नेपाल के उभरते
The run rate is slowly picking up as well. We noted at one point, a couple of overs ago, it was under 4. And obviously you had a big over after the wicket in the previous over, where Canada was able to actually get double digits for the first time in an over in the innings. And they can look to build off of that.
Well, that's dug into the pitch, and this might be another one going back, and a very well-judged catch here. This is a good catch. Oman literally taking apart Canada here. 4 down now, Canada, and it's a big wicket in the skipper, Nick Curtin.
That is a tremendous catch. A difficult chance. And look at the way he was able to go back. Really, really impressive work. And Oman are thrilled to bits, as they should be. Canada 32 for 4. Really, really struggling.
Fantastic catch again, and Oman have really come out for a contest today. They mean business, and they're tired of losing. They've said enough's enough, and we're going to try and stamp our authority in this game.
They're smarting after that loss yesterday, looking to bounce back here. Short ball. Nickerton goes for the uppercut, just doesn't get enough of it. And Prajapati, watching the ball all the way, takes a tremendous catch.
That's
to send Curtin back.
2 catches for him. Nick Curtin's gone for 18 off 21 deliveries. The wheels really coming off here for Canada. Didn't really need to go for that shot. It would have been a wide, I think, had he left it. It was well over his head.
Yeah, it's one of those, the T20 format, you don't want to hold players back from playing their shots, and obviously we've seen the way Nicholas Curtin has expanded his game over the past year. We've got the new batter now in, Hardstalker, joining Treyasmova at the crease. And another man who knows how to manage a crisis. We'll see how he handles this one.
Oh dear. Asking questions out there, probing away, Oman.
Big trouble. Big trouble.
Just need to hold it together here, both Harsh Tucker and Treyasmova.
Need some time at the crease. Again, you look at that. Not sure whether to go after it or not. That's that indecisiveness that a score at 32 for 4 can create, and especially as a new batter, trying to find that rhythm, trying to find that flow. Not quite there yet.
Down leg. Stomping away Faya's butt. Canada will be quite thankful for those. Listen, looking at the positives of Canada, but there have been quite a few, especially after the horrid tour that they had in the Netherlands. To come back home and take a clean sweep with the ODI series is great stuff. And they really did dominate every game that they played against both Oman and Nepal. Harsh Tucker's off the mark with that single. And then you look at the T20s. Yes, the batting struggled against Nepal, but how good was the bowling? So they definitely have positives going their way. We now go into a long winter here. Can't do much outdoors. You'll be training indoors. So again, that fielding aspect takes a bit of a hit again. I don't really know what the plans are. I'm sure Cricket Canada would be looking at getting the players out somewhere on a training tour during the winter, because you still want to continue playing as much outdoor cricket as you can. The indoor stuff just isn't nearly as realistic or as effective as being outside.
No question about it. And you want to build on the feeling that we just saw in the last match.
Oh, and that's played well. They'll pick up a single. But that's all these two really need to do. Just work the field, manipulate the fielders, and pick up your runs in between the wickets. 7 overs gone. Canada, 35 for 4.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the story. It's the no-frills thing to do.
Back into the action, and it's going to be the skipper, Akib Ilyas, comes into the attack. Very adamant that he wanted to have a bowl first today. Wanted to put Canada under some pressure with the bowling first, and then try and make easy work of the chase. And he's certainly doing everything from the toss onwards right. Winning the toss, a good one today.
No question about it.
Little short to start.
If there's one thing, Skipper, you'll be mindful when you look at yesterday's play. They were in a situation where they had Nepal at 98-5. Nepal were able to cover for 176. So that might be in the back of his mind. Got this commanding position now. How do you capitalize? How do you keep the foot on the throat?
It was a really good late push, wasn't it, for Oman towards the end of the innings?
That was fantastic. And I think take the lessons, you try to push forward, and again, they've got themselves in a good position here. And now it's a good test, not only for Harsh Tucker and Treyasmova to maneuver this situation, but for Oman to really capitalize.
This is a tricky surface to bat on. A bit too paced. We've seen a couple stay low as well.
Definitely a lot to think about for the batters. You see Harsh Tucker wanting something changed with the side screen. Not too happy. Demons in the pitch, demons off the pitch.
Well, it's such a mental game, isn't it? When you're struggling out there, every little thing surrounding it is going to be a bit of an issue. Because oftentimes when you're not in the best form, you don't watch the ball very well. You watch everything around it.
Everything is bothering me. When you're in form, it's the size of a beach ball. When you're not in form, it's the size of, let's say, a table tennis. And you see everything else that's in the way.
Shouldn't be. Well, there'll be some comfort for Canada knowing that there are two level-headed batters out there right now. Two patient players who are okay to take their time. They're going to need to do that. No rash shots needed at the moment. Hit the track, or get back on the track before you go on the offensive again.
And they both run well between the wickets. And they both have the ability to accelerate. And that should ease their minds into taking it easy right now, working the field, knowing that you can really turn it up a gear.
Now the quick over comes to an end. It's 8 gone. Canada 38 for 4. Here for the No Frills T20 Cup 6-game series. And it's Zishan Maksud for the first time into the attack. Rotating the bowlers well here, Oman. Game number 3 today. Canada 1 up. They find their second. Oman yet to pick up a win in this series.
Look at the work that was done with the left arm spin early. Coming to a couple of right-handers and hoping for the same success here. You almost wonder if it could still have a slip in place.
It's too straight.
They can pick these. We still will be happy to get singles, continue to build. And it'll be small targets right now, working their way to 50, 60, 75.
A bit of frustration for Harsh Tucker. Wanted to get some bat on that and cut it away.
Definitely a missed opportunity there.
At the moment, Canada's sitting on top of that table. Nepal in second place. Having picked up the one win yesterday against Oman.
That's well fielded.
A dot. It's going to be 9 overs gone. Canada 42 for 4.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips. Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
Talk about more current stuff. More my era, not the oldies.
Lenny has no idea what's going on right now. Oh.
Well, trying to go on the offensive, and they're going to pick up 6 runs here. It is Harsh Tucker taking on Akib Ilyas and going down the ground. 6 added to the total. A magnificent looking shot there from Harsh Tucker.
And there was that missed opportunity earlier with the cut shot. This time did not miss at all. Beautiful shot over long on. Got on the front foot and beautifully lofted that over.
Better length this time. That one a little over pitch from Akib Ilyas. Got the treatment that it deserved. Harsh Tucker is quick. Put a loose ball away in a flash.
Ilyas quickened it up there as well. Wouldn't give it as much light as that first. Delivery. Spinners will normally make that adjustment when no one likes getting hit. You can see that.
Well, that's turned a little bit.
Wow.
And that has surprised Shreyas Mova. He looks at the pitch and he looks at the stumps, and he does that a couple more times.
That is a troubling sign for a batter. That was a beauty of a delivery.
Switch it, comes out. He does play that shot well, doesn't he? Unfortunate to have missed out on that occasion. Good adjustment from Akib Ilyas as well to try and get it further away from him.
Plays that shot really well, works on it a lot as well.
He's a good player of spin, generally speaking, though.
This is looking like a really good matchup between Ilyas and Mova. Something's got to give here.
Well, he's used his speed, and that's a missed opportunity. That's a stumping chance gone down. It's going to be a single to end the over. Signal buys. 10 overs gone. Canada 50 for 4. We're going to take a quick drinks break here, and we'll be back momentarily.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. TD, ready for you.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local. Breakfast programs, food program for kids.
Senior Spots program, providing transportation to and from the store.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
That plan is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So no frills thing to do.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips. Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Welcome back to the action as we're going to have another change in the comm box. It's Arslan Kadir joining us as Vivek Jacob takes a slight break. And big thank you to all of our sponsors here. Play a crucial part in hosting, well, lots of sports, not just cricket, but a big backbone of sponsoring and bringing in the funds. And well, this weekend was lovely because there were a lot of giveaways from No Frills. Coca-Cola was offering free drinks.
There's a massive shopping cart over there, Manali. Made a ton of Coke cans in there. I heard Matt talking to you about having to do groceries, and I got a call from the wife last night on my way home saying, you better go pick up some groceries as well. You've been out all day. So I had to make a quick stop at No Frills.
I still can't picture you as a grocery shopper.
I hate groceries. It's honestly the worst thing in the world. But when you've got a little one and she runs out of milk, the Uber app doesn't come quick enough, so you've got to just look at fix shop. It's literally right behind my house, honestly. Real still, not too big of a deal, but I just can't stand walking the aisles. And you also can't go when you're hungry, can you?
Oh.
Marshall shot. Do you see how low he gets? If you look in reference to Nicholas Curtin, he stays nice and tall when he plays that cut shot. He's able to keep it down with Harsh. That one in the air. He's got to be careful there.
We're trying to come down the track. Shreyas He's now 10 off 17. You could just sense that something was going to give in that previous over with a missed dumping. As well from Zishan Maksud. It's going to be a dot ball to end the 11th over. Canada 54 for 4.
All new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Well, they're flying through the overs here, Oman. The spinners really taking a hold of this game. Now into the 12th over. What do you think our score was before the start of this game, Parsley?
Manali, we've been wrong on the par score 2 days in a row now, so I don't really know if I want to take a shot at that, but I think if you're Canada, 130, 140 would be a minimum, especially on a fresh wicket. But the way this wicket's played, and we've heard Nicholas Curtin talk about this, is reevaluating as you get into the game, reevaluating what a good total is going to be. I think that if they get close enough.
Well, he's used the feet well this time. It's going to be 4 runs, and Shreyas just released some of that pressure that was building up on him. Good, safe-looking shot, and always in control of it.
Yeah, and I think that if you have a look at this, the good thing is he wasn't trying to hit this for 6. He was just trying to get this over the bowler into the gap. And that's better from Shreyas. Kept his head down, got to the pitch, and able to hit it over Akabilias. And that's going to help him get to a par score, as we were talking about, Manali. I think they've got to get above what they did on game 1. They bowled really well, and they've got a really good bowling attack. And the other thing is they do bat deep. As we'll have another look here. Coming down the track, got to it this time. Didn't get all of it. Wasn't looking to get it over for sticks. Just wanted to get it into the gap before. It does it well.
Oh, this is popped up. And this might be close. Another good-looking catch from Oman. This is not good playing. Not navigating this batting at all in the manner that they should be, Canada. It's Ayan Khan this time. And Shreyas after picking up the boundary, really had no need to play that rash shot. Canada now 5 down.
Yeah, I don't question the shot, Manali. I just question the execution. It looked like he was in two minds, whether to try and take this over the top or look to put it down. In the end, he does neither. As you can see, it's just the bottom hand comes off of it, the bat as well. Just in no position, gets no execution. Ayan Khan, he makes up good ground there. For a question, it's not too far from us. I didn't know if he was going to get there, but he got on his horse and got there in the end and does well. Shreyas, not the day that he was after, 14 off 20.
In big trouble for Canada here. Halfway through that batting card, 59 for 5 after 11.3. The skipper's gotten a breakthrough here, Akabilias. And it wasn't the best of deliveries, really. It was there for the shot, but...
Yeah, adjusting his length after the previous delivery where Shreyas was able to get down to the wicket, looked to slide it in. Didn't get the length right, but in the end, it might have just been a little bit of extra bounce as well, doing the job for Akabilias. He's 1 for 15 now into his third. Remember, he was 3 for 11 yesterday in his 3 overs. The last over is where Gulshan Jha took a real liking to him. We'll see what happens here. Now he's got a bowl to the left-hander, Saad bin Zafar.
Gulshan Jha played a blinder of innings yesterday. 40 off 17 deliveries. Bowled well as well, picked up 2 wickets. Good day for him. And it helps as a side who struggled through the 50 overs in the tournament is to bring in a player like that who can turn things around for you. Bit of extra bounce, and it's Saad Zafar who's come out to the middle, and he's off the mark with a single. I'm sure he wasn't expecting to be out in the middle this early. Just in the 12th over still. Plenty of overs to come, and halfway through that batting part already.
And I can tell you, after that first ball, he's been licking his lips to get the ball in his hand later on in the second innings.
Well, he's bowled him. That's another one. That has gone right through Harsh Tucker's bat. A little bit of turn as well. And now Canada in all sorts of trouble as Harsh Tucker falls. You know, you say he might be licking his lips, Saad Zafar, but the fact of the matter is they need to have a decent total to be able to defend when they come out with the ball. And at the moment, it's not anywhere close to what we think was par. 60 for 6 after 11.5.
And it's just Aqib Ilyas. He's leading from the front here. A little bit more air. And it looks like it might have been off the inside edge from Harsh Tucker. Big gap between bat and bat. We'll have another look here. I think he does get a little bit of bat on it. And back onto his middle and leg stump. Harsh Tucker. That's why he has to walk back now, head down. It's a slow trot from Harsh Tucker. He doesn't want to go, but he has to.
He goes for 14 off 16 today. And Aqib Ilyas has now picked up his second wicket. Good stuff this from Oman today. 2 wickets in this over. And they've really turned this game around, Oman.
Yeah, the spinner's wreaking real havoc, and a leg spin, the wrist spin from Aqib Ilyas. Canadian selectors will be thinking, did we get it wrong by not playing Ansh Patel on this track?
What's the big man, Dylan Haliger, back in the action after a couple of games out with an injury. He is fit and 100% ready to get going. One delivery to come in the over from Aqib Ilyas. There's definitely some turn out there. It's going to be a dot ball to end. Canada 60 for 6 after 12. Zishan Maksud is going to continue. He's into his third over. Just 8 runs coming off of his first 2, and the bowling has really looked incredible from Oman today, supported by some excellent fielding. They had a couple of drop chances go down yesterday against Nepal. Turned out to be costly ones. Today, though, it's a completely different story in the field.
Yeah, they've held on to everything, haven't they, Oman? Captain and the ex-captain doing the work for them.
Well, we've said this time and time again for the last 2-3 wickets now that Canada need a partnership, and they need to try and just rotate the singles. They still have plenty of overs in hand. Just need to be able to get a decent partnership to get that late push in the end.
In Canada, they have the luxury of Akil Kumar and Parveen Kumar both coming in late. Their batters. Akil opens the batting in his local competition. Parveen Kumar also bats up the order in the local competition. So they have that luxury of having those two back. But really, the wickets, they add pressure. They've got to make runs. They batted well in game 1 for Canada as well. It looks like a different side today. Just a lack of confidence with that. Again, I think it told the mindset when Navneet Dhaliwal took that first ball. It did not set the tone for Canada. The confidence just was not there.
Be surprised we've not seen Yuvraj Samra in the T20 setup yet. He's in the squad, but we haven't seen him get a game yet.
It's hard to get a game, especially in that top order. With Aaron Johnson, you've got to give him time. He's been one of your best batters all year for the last couple of years.
He really has. He's been part of the run getters more often than not for Canada. And sometimes form is a funny thing, isn't it? You just have to allow some time. Because let's face it, no one's going to be in form all of the time.
And I think the other thing, Manali, that we mistake is a lot of these batters, they're playing out of position. Akil Kumar playing out of position, Parveen Kumar playing out of position with the bat in hand. And so you don't want a young man who's traditionally an opening batter that coming in now 7, 8, 9. It's not what we want.
There's a shot that you don't see often from Dylan Haliger, a front foot defense. Very unlike his game, but forced into it today. It's going to be the end of the over.
60.
Villas comes in for his fourth and final over of his spell. He got 2 wickets in his previous over. Landed on the back foot. It's bowling a good length, isn't it? Just back of the length, not allowing the batter as much at all.
This is where it went wrong for him yesterday, didn't it, Manali, after in his fourth over. But Canada in a completely different position at this point in time. They've got to consolidate and make sure they get through to those last 5 overs. Oman has struggled in the death. They struggled yesterday.
Driven into the leg side from Dylan Haliger for yet another single. It shows some weaknesses though, hasn't it, with the bat, especially in this T20 series. Put into bat first in both games now.
And even with the win the other day, Manali, it didn't exude a lot of confidence as we see Saad Zafar there. He's got to get back. The last thing you want now is a run out. One fatal one early in the innings, a couple near misses. And there again, Saad Zafar, you have to get back quickly. Now, you wouldn't say these first 2 games have exuded confidence from on a batting perspective for Canada.
Stop. Attempt after Villas. It's just another single down the ground.
What do you think of the call to bring Dylan Haliger there in at this position? I think maybe an Akil Kumar in this state where he's able to rotate the strike.
Well, that's popped up, and it's going to fall in no man's land. Get it to the pitch of the ball, a bit of extra bounce, just surprising Dylan Haliger. I was expecting Dylan to come in maybe after 1 or 2 wickets, depending on what over. And I think just the sheer number of overs left brought it a bit too early than expected. We did take that gamble though in the 50 overs series, the 1 game, and it paid off. But we'll have to see how this plays out. 14 gone.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. Outside! TD, ready for you.
14 overs gone. Canada 65 for 6. It's not a score that they would have imagined to be in at this state of the game when they came out to this beautiful picturesque facility here in King City, Ontario.
As we see Shaquille Ahmed come back in the attack, what a first over it was from him today, Manali.
Well, this in the gap, going down the ground. And they'll stick to just a single. A big wicket that, isn't it? Navneet Dhaliwal to pick him up first ball. He'd really take the game away from you once he's settled in.
Man, I just thought it was a very unlike AJ decision not to take strike, and that's what was very disappointing for me to see. He's somebody that is just exudes confidence everywhere he goes, and that decision is not a confident decision. You've got to face for him head on. He was just almost shying away from the left arm spin of Shaquille Ahmed with that first delivery.
To the leg side from Saad Zafar. These two can try and anchor it to about the 16th over mark. They've got a decent launching pad, especially if Dylan Haley will stay out there.
We could see somebody like a Dylan Haley repeat the antics of a Gulshan Jah yesterday. You can get him in quick time. He's not gonna need much time to make up that strike rate.
He's playing such an unnatural game right now, isn't it, Dylan Haley? Not what he's known for. Definitely aggressive by nature with bat and ball. Smart cricket this from him. I'm sure it's really testing him to have to play as patiently as he is.
He's got a good man with him in Saad Zafar.
Four singles so far in the over.
Doesn't get a lot of opportunities, does he, Saad Zafar? He's usually when he does come in, it's in a crisis. But how often has he done it for Team Canada? Leading from the front as captain. He was captain of the World Cup. He's now handed the reins to Nicholas Curtin. In game one, he was the one. Thought he was my player of the match, Manali, with a 3 for in the runs that he got. You and Lenny saw it differently.
Down the ground. And it's going to be another single. I can't say that I didn't think that he was a contender at the early match. He batted well, he bowled well, but Colin Sana just picked up some really important wickets. And this might be tight. Oh, diving effort to make his ground. Saad Zafar. 2 runs picked up off the final delivery. 15 overs gone, 72 for 6.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local. Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
Well, match series that they are hosting, the 6 ODIs that were part of ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2, they were perfect in those. 4 wins from 4. We started the No Frills T20 Cup as we went to the T20I leg of the tour with a win, albeit a very tight win over Nepal. Today, you're going to have to pull something special out of the fire in these final 5 overs, even to get up to that total of 123 that they defended the other day. Can Dylan Hayliger find some momentum? Oh, well, that's going to help, isn't it? A misjudgment in the deep, and it'll be a boundary for Hayliger, his first. You can't blame the fielder for going for the catch. It's Kashyap Prajapati who's taken a couple of speckies on this tour. But ultimately, he's conceded 4 as I wish you a very good afternoon, Vivek Jacob.
Yeah, you can't blame the fielder there at all for going for it. I think when you look at that situation, you get that wicket, you get Hilliger back in the pavilion, and you're feeling really, really good. But Canada will take it. It's been great fielding from Oman so far, and they'll use any slip-up they can get right now.
And that's going to be the next one. Number 7 goes down just as Heiliger was looking to start to build something. He's gone absolutely nowhere near the ball. And Zishan Maksoud, he's so difficult, isn't he, to get down to? He's so canny. Heiliger pays the price.
Drew him out brilliantly there. You can see, obviously, not getting quite the timing on the 4, but here, trying to go for a big one again. And drew him forward. Nowhere near the ball was Heiliger. He's left to rue that approach. Oman are celebrating once again.
So that will be the 7th wicket. It's Heiliger that falls for 9. Score 76 for 7.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips. Let's go! Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
They're going to be Parveen Kumar to the crease. He comes in at number 9. Zishan Maksoud has had an excellent day, hasn't he? Yet again, so economical, isn't he? Just a canny, clever bowler. You look at him kind of as a left-arm spinner, you don't think he's necessarily up to much, but he really is so effective.
That's the word, isn't it? Effective. Knows how to go about his business. Has the experience. You know, especially on a pitch like this, where he can cause problems for the batsman. And he's doing it beautifully today.
Cut away. Now, Rafiola's there, but they'll be able to get through for the single. As we see Canada trying to build up to something here. Lucky numbers on the board. All the 7. 7, 7, 7 right now.
If that means luck, they'll take it.
Right. Depends what part of the world you're in. If we're in China, it's 8, isn't it? 8's the lucky number out there.
Right.
August 8th, that's their day. The 8th of the 8th. Another dot.
Up right here.
Yeah, certainly. He just never got going. It's not necessarily been a bad pitch. It's so tricky, isn't it?
It definitely has.
It's going to get us to the end of Zishan Maksoud's spell. The score with 16 overs bowled. It's 77%.
Kids.
Senior bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
Ahmed Firesbutt. He's going to return to the attack with 4 overs remaining. Canada in all sorts of trouble. And a ramp shot down to deep third. Cali Mulla puts it down. Well, he did all the hard work, didn't he? The big man, he got there. And he claps his hands in frustration because it went in and it went out. And Sad Bin Safar has been, in fact, it might have been Parveen Kumar, has been put down.
Get a look at the replay here. Short delivery goes to help it along its way, ramps it over And we've got third man pretty fine here. Just unable to take the catch was Kalimola.
This one's pulled away. No, that's going to add insult to injury, isn't it? How often do you see this? A chance goes down and the next ball is dispatched to the boundary. Canada, well, they need a very good final 4 overs here. They've got to get to 110, 120. Can they do it?
You can see the tactic to go short once again. That's clearly the idea, the plan that's in mind here. But not working out on this occasion. Not getting quite enough bounce. Just comfortable at waist height for Saad bin Zafar to put away to the fence.
So coming towards the end of the season here, so over the last weekend, it's an amazing facility here at King City, isn't it? It's not just the main international ground, and actually when we go to the lengths that we do for a game like this, with the stands going in and the advertising audience, the VIP hospitality, the Nissan cars and the no frills, gigantic shopping cart, that actually takes over the second pitch. Manali Patel will tell me it's, I don't know, A and B or Z and Q or something, some kind of strange description. But 2 of the 5 grounds are out of action. And then 3 of them were still in action. And it was kind of the national finals weekend, wasn't it? So big congratulations. Super 9 champion Spartan CC, the elite champion St. Edmunds CC, the premier winners, the Ontario Cricket Academy.
Yeah, it's just a great moment right now for Canadian cricket. Want to see everyone partaking and everyone making the most of this opportunity. And that's when you get these 3 big winners. It's a celebration of the game. It's a celebration of what's happening in Canadian cricket right now. And, of course, as you mentioned there, those 3 big winners. Spartans Cricket Club coming away with the Super 9 trophy.
Is there kind of promotion relegation then to some aspects of that? That's through the elite, the Premier and Division 1 then, is it?
Yes, exactly. And so they work their way through. That's what you're aspiring to be as a cricketer. You go up against these different levels, you understand where you're at. You go up against peers and understand what it's going to take to get to that next level, where you stand. And so that's what it's all about. Get your experience. You have these opportunities to showcase yourself. And then you push yourself season after season to try and be the best cricketer you can be.
I know it was a finals weekend, so it was always going to attract more attention. I was pretty impressed by the turnouts as well. Lots of sort of family and friends coming along to support. There's another one bowled into the surface. Saad bin Zafar can only get a small piece of that, and they'll help it round into the leg side for a single to close out the 17th over. It's 85%.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go.
Let's go. Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
I think there's also division. And the Cricket Canada team, Shah, asked me would I come and present the Division 1 trophy. And I said, Chaco, I said, hold on. I said, I think you're misinterpreting the importance of my presence here. And he said, no, they'd love it, come along. So
you're a big man here in Canada.
I was then asked to give a bit of a speech. I didn't know as much as I felt I wanted to know or needed to know.
Don't downplay your importance, Lenny.
Not at all. But it was, I tell you what was lovely, like, you saw the family and friends, the importance for them, the runners-up medals, winners' medals, nice little speech from the captain. I think it was the CNCA team, if I remember correctly, as Kalimola gets full, launches into one of his trademark appeals. Look at the wingspan when he goes big. I know we don't have Matt Bonner here today, but we've got to get those wingspans measured. Who's bigger, Kalimola or Matt Bonner?
That'd be a fun comparison for sure. But you look at the surprise element of the previous over, everything being short. And now you come in with an in-swinging Yorker, and you just create that bit of problem. And Saad bin Zafar, lucky to survive there, and he'll carry on.
I think it was probably just missing leg, wasn't it? I think a good call from Arlen Medella. Oh, now this is a good Yorker again. We heard Arslan Kadir talk yesterday rightly about how hard Cally Mullagh worked in his death bowling. Historically, 3-4 years ago, being honest, you actually, there was a trademark saying in the associate cricket, do the Cally Mullagh, bowl your overs out consecutively at the start, because you can't come back at the death. But great credit to him. He's found that extra little bit of pace, and he's hitting the block hole really nicely here.
And you have to respect the fact that he's worked on his game. He's recognized that weakness. He's embraced it and said, okay, how do I improve at this? And you look at that, back-to-back Yorkers to start this over, and he'll look to kick on.
He's also doing it because the team needs him to do it. This one's pumped down the ground, but long off should cut it off and does well enough to keep it to a single. Ian Khan doing the fielding. I love the wholeheartedness and effort from Cally Mullagh. You cannot question that. But the reason he has to do it, Vivek, no Bilal Khan. If you look at his career T20I numbers, huge loss for Oman.
No question about it. And I think that's where you look at the challenges that this team faces and just needing, necessity is the mother of invention. And by necessity now, you've got Kalimullah in this situation saying, okay, not only do I have to step up to the plate, I have to figure out a way to do it the right way.
Yeah, Bilal Khan would probably have bowled overs 18 and 20 in almost every T20I he's played for Oman. So, it's necessity for Oman, robbed of their primary bowler, albeit that he's 37 years of age now. 110 wickets in T20I cricket, the leading wicket taker in this format by miles. Average 17, economy rate under 7, and so often he's the clutch one coming up with the performances that will often get Oman over the line at the death. Outstanding with his death bowling skills. And Cally Mullagh, robbed of his usual opening partner to that shoulder injury, he's having to step up and he's doing really, really well. He's at a fine tour.
And no question he would have learned a lot from watching Bilal as well.
Oh, now how unlucky is this? Cricket, sometimes it's just not your day, is it? That could have easily uprooted the leg stump. Instead, Pratikathavele, not able to get anything on it. It's going to be 4 byes, the perfect Yorker.
That's brilliant. I mean, this has really been a brilliant over. You can't really complain. He's gone full the entire over. He's got the Yorkers in. And this one, on another day, is unquestionably a wicket and a big celebration with the big wingspan. But unlucky in this moment, and even more unlucky to see it run away for an additional 4 byes.
Well, he deserves a wicket here, the big man, doesn't he, Cally Mullagh? He's bowled so well. He's bowled his heart out this entire tour. Can he get one? Into the block hole again. Man out there. Cally Mullagh. Oh, yes. There it is. And it's Shoaib Khan that will take the catch. And it's almost relief as opposed to sheer elation for Cally Mullagh. He's done all the hard work, and my, how he's deserved that.
No question about it. You look at that over full pitch delivery after full pitch delivery, getting the Yorkers right. Canada unable to get anything away, and there just a slightly bit more room to work with for Parveen Kumar, and he tries to go over the man and just not able to get enough. And you look at the catch taken by Shoaib Khan, really well judged, made it look easy in the end.
So, latest to fall, Parveen Kumar, he's gone for 4. Canada slide further.
Latest to fall, Parveen Kumar, he's gone for 4. Canada, they slide further to 92 for 8. What an over we've just seen. We often talk about Bilal Khan being the hero at the death. He nailed probably 5. Slot, wasn't he? And just a superb piece of bowling. Oman have been excellent, Canada less so. Kalim Sana comes to the crease. They'll take every run they can get. That'll be a wide. He's at the non-striker's end. What can Sad bin Safar do from these final two?
And you look at Fayaz Butt again, sticking to his plan. And it's clear that they've worked out between each other how they want to go about their business. Here, coming in short once again, we saw Kalimullah go full pitch, full pitch, full pitch. And here we're seeing short delivery after short delivery.
Oh, now this has gone a long way up. It's going to be number 9. Sad bin Safar will have to trudge off because there is no way that Pratik Atavele is going to drop that, but gets reward for his tactic of banging it into the surface. Oh, Canada, what is going on out there? You've been rolled away. May not make 100 now.
And it's amazing to see, opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of tactics, but that's just a bowler knowing what works for them. And again, we saw Kalimullah, Yorker after Yorker. We got to look at this replay here. Short pitched, Sad bin Safar just not getting the timing right, just not be able to get under the ball. And sends it up for the wicketkeeper to take no problem. Atavale will gobble that up.
Sad bin Safar has gone for 15. It's 93.
Sad bin Safar has gone for 15. It's 93 for 9.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. TD, ready for you.
Well, he's a long way down there, isn't he? Number 11, certainly much more capable with the bat than that. Akhil Kumar, it's going to be, who will pick up a single. Can you maybe identify where this has gone wrong today for Canada? Is there complacency or what exactly has happened?
It just seems to be a lack of planning in this innings, and I think they've targeted opportunities at the wrong time. You see big shots come out at times when they really just needed to build a partnership, and that's something that they've done so well in the past, so it's a bit strange to see them not be able to put it together on this occasion. And you look at some of the shots, you look at, whether it was the captain Nicholas Curtin getting out to that uppercut, you look at other dismissals, and you just wonder if they've gone about their big shots at the right time.
Yeah, wide full toss, and that's slashed away. Good fielding. Got to give Oman some credit as well. Certainly they've fielded better than they did yesterday. They've bowled a lot better. But it's really been right from the off, hasn't it? Navneet Dhaliwal, a very tentative prod outside his off stump to the very first delivery of the innings, gone for a royal duck. And then, even though 4 batters have got to double figures, no one's made more than Nicholas Curtin's 18.
No. And when you look at Oman, you talk about having the right amount of respect. That situation, 0 for 2 after the first over, you really needed to approach with caution, and maybe there just wasn't enough.
If you were looking at the respective form of the two teams coming into today, as they're going to take on a second, and a direct hit would have been gone, but the dive will get Akhil Kumar home. Shakil Ahmed doing the fielding down at deep third. But you came into today going, well, after yesterday, Oman have no chance. But it shows the brilliance of associate cricket, the unpredictability of it, and maybe sometimes the imperfectness of it. Canada have played well this entire series. They've won all 5, but they at times haven't been at their best either.
And that's why the game isn't played on paper. You never know what can happen on the day, and the way Oman have turned up, the way they've been in the field, obviously we've seen, maybe barring a couple of misjudgments, they've been absolutely excellent. And the bowling has been on top of Canada throughout this match, and at no point has Canada looked like they were about to swing the momentum.
I'll tell you something more. I know Oman are obviously going to have to score these runs and chase down this total. They'll be heavy favourites at the halfway stage. It could set up this No Frills T20 Cup brilliantly. At the end of the first round robin, if you will, each side could quite possibly have one win apiece. And depending upon how quickly Oman chase it, they could be completely neck and neck in terms of net run rate as well. It again shows the brilliance of the associate game and how competitive all these leading associates are against each other.
And that would set up the back end of the tournament absolutely brilliantly. That's what you want to see. You want to see 3 teams in the Tri-Series competing, going hard against each other, having just as much opportunity as the other. And boy, this would completely flip the table if Oman can get the win here.
Yeah, it could easily be in a situation where we'll go into the 6th and final match. I mean, no idea. Could be any one of the 3 sides that could win it going into that final day. As this is nicely cut away. It's a good stroke on top of the bounce, and the hundreds come up. Finally, it's taken a while to get there, but they have at least got to 3 figures as we round out the 19th. It's 101 for 9.
Beautifully played cut shot by Kaleem Sana. He can handle the bat a bit, you know. You can't get too carried away thinking he's a tail ender. A kill Kumar there. Much needed runs.
Canada needs more cricket. Ready for you.
Back live, no ball. It was a drop catch, but that's not going to matter. Kali Mullah has overstepped, and as you rightly said, Kaleem Sana can hit a big ball. Akil Kumar, what an asset he is coming in at number 11. Kali Mullah's overstepped, and certainly Arnold Medella is not going to miss that, and it means that we've got a free hit incoming. Maybe chance of a big final over.
This is exactly what you need to try and set things off, set the right tone for this final over. If you're Canada, you're thinking, is there a chance you can get to 120? You need a big start to the over here, and we'll see. Kalimullah has been going with those full pitch deliveries. We'll see how it comes back here.
Here comes the free hit. Sana smashes it away. Now, there is a man out there. It won't be out caught. Remember, it's a free hit. I think some thought that it come right out of the screws and might have been a maximum. Even the DJ, he's got the celebration music on. It's not out. It's just one run to the toe.
Playing tricks, that free hit.
No matter where the game is, it could be a packed MCG or maybe a handful of people in and around the ground. Someone always gets caught out by the free hit. They don't see the signal.
No question about it. But now, again, it's going to be very difficult to get Kalimullah away. So what type of creativity can we see from Akil Kumar? Can we see some creativity from Kaleem Sana? Because at this point, they know he's going full pitched. They know the Yorker's coming. So how can they maneuver the crease to try and make something special happen?
It's a good point. The plan's pretty clear, isn't it? Into the block hole. So how can you squeeze it away for some runs? Now, they've got to think of a second here. Prajapati fields nicely. Kumar's got to go. But he gets back reasonably comfortably. Amazing to think of Akil Kumar all the way down at number 11. He's surely got more pedigree with the bat than that.
Yeah, and I think that just speaks to the depth that Canada has. And, you know, again, we go back to the point where I was wondering, hey, did they take risks at the right time or not? And maybe it's that confidence of feeling that they do bat deep. And so why not go for it here? Why not go for it there? And it just hasn't worked out for them today.
Just love another boundary or two, wouldn't they? Into the block hole, a big puff of dust. I don't think that's come anywhere near the bat, and another good decision. Poor old Arnold Medella has been put under such pressure, and he's responded so brilliantly to it, the 61-year-old Canadian umpire. Can't think of many decisions he's gotten wrong across all of these ODIs and T20s, and another one right on the money.
He's had a great tour, and you can see Akil Kumar, his adjustment to the full pitch delivery is to give himself some room, get well wide of leg stump and try to go to the off. And this time he changes it up.
Looks for the ramp, doesn't quite get it. gets one. You saw that big puff of dust there, didn't you? That indicates just how dry this surface is with the previous delivery.
Absolutely, and I think that's posed a lot of problems for the Canadian batters. We'll obviously have to see how Oman goes about their business, but it hasn't been easy at all.
I just wonder how much spin are Canada going to bowl. Might they even be thinking, okay, hold on, do we go with maybe Sad bin Safar or Parveen Kumar to open the bowling? Obviously, Sana will bowl at one end, but do they maybe hold Dylan Hayligger back to the middle overs? Definitely something that they'll have to consider at the halfway stage. Hit towards long off. Now, Ayan Khan holds on to a really good catch because that was travelling. Kalim Sana got the bottom hand through it, got a good piece of it, and Khan immediately came in. And then he realised, hold on, this is coming at me like a tracer bullet. He did really well to readjust. And just like all of Oman's fielding, with the exception of that one missed stumping, it's been spot on the money. Canada have been bowled out, all out inside their 20 overs for just 106, and it's another wicket for Big Cali Mullah.
Just a spectacular effort, spectacular bowling effort by Oman today. You just have to tip your hat to what they've been able to do. When you look at Fayaz Butt, he's taken a couple of wickets. You look at Aqib Ilyas, he's taken a couple of wickets. Kalimullah, the way he's come in and bowled at the death, just absolutely brilliant. They have ticked all the boxes in the field.
Yeah, they really have, and I've got to say, Kalimullah deserved this, didn't he? He was good at the top with a new ball, but actually, if anything, his 2 overs at the death were even better. And now Aqib Ilyas has just said to his team, we've got to take this opportunity. He's pulled his whole team into this huddle, and he wants to say to them, look, we've not had a great tour, we've not been at our best. Consequence, now they've got a real golden opportunity to try and take what would be, well, a fantastic win over a side that are unbeaten so far between these two series. That's the tail of the tape here, Vivek. You've got to look at those batting scores and be really disappointed. 4 get to double figures, no one gets more than that 18 of Nicholas Kurt.
No question about it. And you look at Nicholas Kurt and Shreyas Mova, Harsh Thakur, all coming in those difficult moments where you just want to work the singles, you just want to work it around, and it's just the wrong shot at the wrong time, creating further problems. Obviously nothing happening for the side at the top. And to your point about Oman, in terms of a complete innings, you think about yesterday where they had Nepal at 97 for 5, and Nepal is able to recover and get to 176. I'm sure at some stage they would have had that in the back of their mind. Canada 32 for 4, then you pick up your 50 and you're thinking, okay, how do we keep our foot on the throat? And they've absolutely done that this time.
Yeah, and the difference for me has really been the fielding. You stick in that run out into the mix, the run out of Dilpreet Bajwa, which was, well, had such a calamitous effect on the team. All of a sudden, everything going right for Oman, and it was a real team effort, wasn't it? Probably no one standout in the bowling effort. Even, I know Rafael only bowled that 1 over, but he bowled with real extreme pace, and certainly shows the promise that he has. 2 wickets apiece for Kalimullah, Ahmed Fayaz Butt, and Aqib Ilyas, the captain, with his mixed bag. I actually thought the pick of the bowlers might have been Zishan Maksud with 1 for 14 from his 4.
Absolutely fantastic. And when you look at the 2 left-arm spinners, they combined to go 7 overs for just 30 runs and take the 2 wickets. 7 overs for 30 runs in the T20 format is absolutely brilliant. Shakil Ahmed obviously opening the bowling, and that posed problems right off the top. Navneet Dhaliwal couldn't pick that first delivery. Then
quite helpful for the bowling, and that's what we want. So let's see how we play and win the game.
Well, you're chasing 107 when you come out with the bat. Very low total from Canada today. What's going to be the plan with the batting, because it has struggled so far in the ODIs and in the T20s?
Definitely, we have to come from out from that. We are struggling a bit in the batting. This is good time and right time to we can take time and we can just win the game easy. And I think our batsmen, they have time. They can spend some time onto the crease and they can score runs and get some confidence to the upcoming games.
Well, good luck in the second half, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Zishan Maksud, after an incredible bowling performance.
Yeah, thank you, Manali, and thank you, Zishan Maksud. Don't know him.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Now, so don't go anywhere too far. Oman, to pull off a big upset win, they will need 107.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. TD, ready for you.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Beba is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. It's the no frills thing to do.
So welcome back here to King City after what has been, well, a fascinating first innings because Canada have been castled out, rolled out for 106, bowled all out inside their 20 overs. A side that was in such a streak of hot form is going to have it all to do in this second innings. They're going to have to bowl and feel their hearts out a little bit like they did in the defence of their total of 123 for 8 in the first game of this No Frills T20 Cup Series. Andrew Leonard here alongside Arslan Kadir, who's going to guide you through the first 5 overs of this chase. Oman, they probably haven't played a more complete innings on this tour of Canada, and they are very heavy favourites at the halfway stage, despite the pitch looking maybe a little bit tricky.
Yeah, certainly. They took a liking to that wicket, didn't they, Lenny? A wicket that suited their bowlers. Kalimullah was able to get some reverse swing in the end. Who would have thought it in T20 match in Canada in the fall? Such a dry wicket. But you also have to say, these batters, and look at that. Change at the top. The captain, Rakib Ilyas, he's promoted himself. Shoaib Khan, who looked really good yesterday for his 45, looked well set for his second half century. He'll likely come in at 3. But Rakib Ilyas, he's going to take the reins, but there's plenty of pressure. Just like the Canadian opening batters on Kashyap Prajapati. He's been well short of runs this series.
Yeah, he's been short of runs really in both formats in 2024. Arslan, has been a very tricky year for him. But look at this for a move from Rakib Ilyas. And I will say, for those who know him, they will say they're not surprised by this whatsoever, because he's going to take the responsibility on his own shoulders. He's promoted himself up the order, and he says, right, none of my teammates are getting runs. I'm going to open the innings, take on the best bowler that is Kaleem Sana, and try and get the victory for Oman. That's proved pretty elusive thus far. They did get that one win over Nepal. He's also, I'm not sure if you can see there in the close-up, he's wearing the sunglasses. He's one of the very few batters in world cricket who wears sunglasses when batting. What do you think of that, stylistically?
Stylistically fantastic. How much of an effect it has. I think it'd be more for the glare than the actual shade from the sun. But again, a la Brian Lara. Chris Gale has done it on occasion.
Yeah, Chris Gale was definitely, well, he could do anything he wanted, couldn't he, the universe boss? Cut away. Pierces the gap. There's 2 men behind square on the offside in the circle. It beats them both, and it races away for 4. Nice start for Oman. Just no real movement for Sana. Guided away right off the middle of Kashyap Prajapati's bat.
Not a better start. It's 2 different types of starts here for Canada versus Oman. Kashyap Prajapati, he was going to pounce all over that. Dropped in short. Not the length that Kaleem Sana was looking for. And just too much width on that occasion. Not too far wide. A little bit like Nicholas Curtin earlier. But able to find the gap, Kashyap Prajapati. And that will give him a little bit of confidence off his first delivery.
Certainly a better start than yesterday. Remember, he was dismissed from the very first ball of the innings. Cut away, good stop. Point. It's a busy area there, isn't it? There's a slip in place and a deep third behind square on the offside. There's also a backward point, and then the cover. He's more like a sort of cover point, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly. There's 3 men from cover point to backward point. They're really tight on that inner ring as you have a look there. That artificial surface, Saad Safar, he's going to be in play. He doesn't want that ball skidding off that surface. That'll run away.
This might not be the greatest sign in terms of the lack of movement through the air. Remember, it's a perfect blue sky day. He's going to come round the wicket already. That usually indicates that he's not getting the ball to shape back in the way he would like. It was a big, expansive stroke attempted down the track, trying to take advantage of that gap between cover and mid-off. Tell us more about Kaleem Sana. How good is he? You think of the very best associate fast bowlers. You think of particularly the likes of Bilal Khan, Saurav Netravalkar. What about Kaleem Sana? Is he right up there with the likes of them?
You have to say he is. 3 left armers as well that you mentioned up there. And Kaleem Sana, ever since his introduction into the Canadian side, it was really that first GT20 with the Winnipeg Hawks. Pulled that final over there. Wasn't able to get his team across the line, but you could just tell there was something special about him. Coming from Pakistan, played plenty of List A cricket there as well, and also played in the Under-19 World Cup alongside the likes of Babar Azam. They had a chance to catch up during the World Cup as well that just passed, but just high quality, not only with the new ball. And the one thing striking, I would say he's almost more effective with the old ball at times than he is with the new ball. Not getting the shape today, however, so quick change from him. But just from that shot from Kashyap Prajapati where he's coming down the track, Lenny, I think it's a sign of the plans from Oman. They think these first 6 overs with the new ball are going to be the easiest time to bat.
Edged away. Now there's no second slip in place, so it's going to fly away to the rope, and it's a 9-run opening over. Fortune this time for Prajapati, and it's 9 for none.
For kids. Seniors bus program providing transportation to and from the store.
Well, moment of fortune from the final ball of the previous over. It was probably a pretty good delivery that squared up Prajapati, wasn't it? And all he could do was kind of fend away from his body, but because there's only the one slip in place, he survives.
Yeah, just taking a look to see if he did roll his fingers across it, but doesn't seem to have done that. Doesn't seem to have done that. It was just a seam delivery, just getting a little bit of moving off the wicket more so than in the air.
It's so dry out there, isn't it? And no surprise, we spoke about this towards the end of the first innings, that Canada are going to open with Parveen Kumar. I think this is a good move. That's not the length you want to bowl at all. Gets away with it. Nicholas Curtin does well at cover.
Yeah, the best fielder in the Canadian squad for a number of years now, Nicholas Curtin. So he covers a lot of ground out there. Turn. That's what Canada will be looking for. They saw it in the first innings. They'll want to make sure it keeps turning in this second innings. And Parveen Kumar there, very similar to Shakil Ahmed in his first over, getting some turn away from Akib Ilyas.
Oh, now a big, ungainly swing and a miss. Akib Ilyas just completely lost his balance, but critically his back foot stayed in. Really quite an ugly shot, wasn't it, for a player of Akib Ilyas's class? He's trying to get going, completely misses it by quite a margin, and it somehow evades the stumps, but his back foot stays in his ground.
Yeah, we'll have a look here. It did come up for a split second, but I think he got it down in time. Another quality decision from Arnold Madela. The 61-year-old hasn't put a foot wrong, has he, Lenny?
No, quite legendary. I hope I'm in his shape when I'm 61. Still involved in the game. Really charismatic chap too. Now it's the wrong-footed sweep shot. It's the trademark Akib Ilyas stroke. Nobody else in the world plays this, and I think he might be onto something. There's real method to the madness, if you will. It looks ungainly, but it's so effective. How good is this stroke?
Have a look at this. It's a conventional sweep with an unconventional setup with the feet. Just brings that back foot across and absolutely smacks that off the middle of the wicket, or the middle of the bat, I should say, all the way to the boundary for 4 runs. It's an ugly-looking shot, but so effective.
It's so clever, and I really like it. He's only brought it into his game this year. He started it earlier in 2024 there in Oman. As this time he beats the diving fielder, Nicholas Curtin. It's a slightly longer side, and it won't quite get to the rope. Will be a couple, as I think it's Harsh Thacker who just might have stubbed his knee into the ground. Curtin was trying to read which way that was going at cover, got a bit wrong-footed, and all of a sudden, Akib Ilyas and Oman, they're looking very good in the chase. It's a dry surface out there.
We talk about creating length. That sweep shot, Parveen Kumar had to pull his length back.
Good diving stop to close out the second over. Oman in control, 15 for none. It's the kind of day you need a nice cold Coca-Cola, isn't it? Because it is just picture perfect for cricket. You wouldn't believe we're in the final day of September. It's a special and somewhat somber day for the country, always the 30th of September, the National Day of Reconciliation. We heard your emotive thoughts on that earlier. Canada maybe a bit overwhelmed by the day. They haven't played their best cricket. They've got into real trouble. And I'm not sure there's going to be a way back. If there is, it'll have to be this man, Kalim Sana, who's going to need to find the opening breakthrough. The slips come wider. It's kind of half a dozen at one and six the other, isn't it? It's not quite a first slip. It's not quite a second. It's hoping that, well, maybe if the edge does fly there, it'll come into that region.
Yeah, and especially with him coming around the wicket, I actually liked them coming a little bit closer together. Shirismova, he's going to be moving down more towards the leg side with that on that angle. So it does present an opportunity, but looking to cover more ground. It's almost a modern way, isn't it, honey? Ricky Ponting used to hate it. You can hear him on comms on all occasions. He hates the gap between the keeper and slips.
You need a great keeper to be able to cover the area that he's been asked to. A little bit of movement back in off the surface. The ball pings away. This was the same approach. You just spoke about it there, about the first six in the power play with a low total to be chased down. Try to take it on, get ahead of the game. That's what Nepal tried to do, chasing in at 124 in the opening game of the No Frills T20 Cup. And it didn't quite work. It's very different, though, isn't it, when you only need just a tick over 100?
Yeah, certainly. And for Akib Ilyas, he's taken the reins to come out and do that himself. He hasn't asked anybody else. He hasn't asked Shoaib Khan to do it. He said, I'll take the reins and come on and do it himself. But what that allows for the Canadian squad is an opportunity. The Oman squad, they didn't get much confidence from yesterday's game. They'll be low on confidence. So can you get a couple of breakthroughs here in the first six? Put the pressure right back on the Omani squad.
Now, this is slapped away. I think he's played for this. I've got to give him some credit. He's kind of ridden the bounce, and he's looked definitely for me to go up and under. Probably not as fine as he quite intended, but it's going to be the first maximum of the chase. Canada, they're being taken apart here by Akib Ilyas.
Yeah, Dylan Haliger, he's out there, but he was just a spectator in the end as that crashes into the advertising hoardings. Akib Ilyas looking to go up and over, probably looking to get it more square. Got it fine, but just as effective as it hits that TD logo for six.
Yeah, I think he's played for this. You can watch it and say, it's an edge, he's lucky, but it's the shortest part of the ground too. He knows it's only 57 metres down there. Now he comes down the track in an immediate strong call of the single. Is there a way back into this game for Canada? They're being completely taken apart here.
Yeah, I suspect Kalim Sana, this might be his last over this spell. I think the spin will come on. But just a worrying sign for me, I'm having a look at Harsh Thakur out there, just rubbing that knee. We saw that in the last over as he was fielding out on the extra cover boundary. Did just stub his knee into the ground. So we'll have a look for that. He'll be an important man, especially to the left-handers of Oman.
It's not the flattest outfield here at King City, is it? And you add into the mix a very heavy playing surface outside the 30-yard circle. Prajapati just has to wear this one. There's nothing he can do. There's such a contrast, isn't there, between the area in and around the square, which has stayed dry and hard. And you can see it's almost dusty today, isn't it? As that one leaps into the gloves of Prajapati, a nasty one. And then when you get out to the kind of parts out towards the boundary rope, it's so different.
Yeah, certainly. And just even this morning, it was very soft when we walked on, wasn't it, Lenny? So dry in the middle, but so soft. And it was a lot of dew in the morning. No overnight rain, but it almost felt like there was overnight rain being out there and standing out there.
Playing a miss, nicely bowled by Kalim Sana. But it's all Oman at the moment. 3 have been bowled. It's 23 for none. Well, halfway through the power play, this game is weighing heavily in Oman's favour right now. They've been excellent today. Canada have been a bit under par. I'm not sure if they've been a bit complacent as well.
Yeah, you would have to say so, especially early on in this bowling spell, waiting for things to happen. I think the pressure needs to be put on here. Slip is out, almost a defensive field early on, and I get it, it's T20, but the only way you're going to win this game is taking all 10 wickets on 8. You're not going to defend this total if they bat all 20. And the way Oman's going, they're not looking to bat all 20. They're trying to get this done. And look at the net run rate, which is going to come into effect in this series.
Yeah, and that's why I'd question the field. It's incredibly defensive. It's as defensive as you can go. And look, there is still turn and bounce on offer. So for Curtin to get into this game, he's got to get wickets, the captain of Canada. But right now he's got 4 men in a ring on the offside, 2 in the deep, 1 at long off and 1 at deep backward square. And then really it's probably only mid-wicket saving a single on the leg side. Where's the slip? Where's the close catching cover? Look at the turn that's on offer. You've got to attack. You have to take wickets here.
Yeah, it's a special delivery there for Parveen Kumar, and he'll be asking himself and the captain, get a slip in there. Navneet Dhaliwal, he was in there for Kalim Sana. He should be in there right now for Parveen Kumar. He's getting a little bit of drift in the air as well with that new ball, Lenny. Drift in the air and turning away. It's an absolute ripper. All it did was not hit the stumps.
Cannot understand not having a slip in place here. Look at that, the outside edge of the bat challenged again. I think you're right. I think it will be the end of Kalim Sana. I think they need spin from both ends. Maybe I'd actually probably go with the 2 left-arm spinners.
Yeah, I'd certainly say so, especially to the 2 right-handers out there in the middle.
Again, the outside edge beaten. Curtin surely has to get the slip into play.
More than the turn, Lenny. I think the one thing that's striking on here is the bounce that Parveen Kumar is getting, and that's why you need the slip in place. It's definitely going to carry if it gets the outside edge with that bounce that Parveen Kumar is getting off the wicket.
A rare drag down. Going to get away with it because there's protection out there. It'll just be a single. We spoke before the very first ball. We said we couldn't understand no Ansh Patel today. May not end up being the deciding factor between the 2 sides, but it's definitely been a misread of the conditions.
Yeah, certainly. It played 3 seamers. Kalim Sana, Dylan Haley are coming back into the team. They've left out their spin option and Ansh Patel. As we now see Navneet Dhaliwal going into slip for Kashyap Prajapati. Should have been in there for Akib Ilyas as well, I suspect.
Reverse sweep and look at where it's gone. It's gone in between the keeper and slip. Why oh why is that keeper not asking for his slip to be closer? It should have been taken. It could well have been the first wicket. Instead, it's a boundary. And 4 would be bowled. It's 28 for none.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. TD, ready for you.
Well, instead of the first wicket falling and going to the left-arm spinner that we were pleading for the slip to be in place there for, we'll just try and bring you this replay here. Here it is. He's gone for the reverse sweep. Look at how wide that slip is, Arsalan. Regulation for a slip. Okay, maybe it's not going to go to him, but at least he'll have a chance on it.
Yeah, certainly. And you've got to put an option in. And you almost think the reverse sweep might throw you off looking to go across. But yeah, that's a huge gap between slip and again, we'll see it. We'll see the gap once again.
Dylan Hayliger into the attack as he beats the attempted pull shot immediately of Ilyas. I'm going to be a bit harsh here on Navneet Dhaliwal as well. He hasn't really anticipated or reacted at all. I'm not saying he'd have got there, but you often see the great slip fielders trying to read the game and sense where that ball could go.
Yeah, and it's difficult with the reverse sweep because oftentimes you see the likes of Steve Smith who's in there at slip for time for Adam Zampa. When he sees that reverse, you almost see him going towards his right-hand side. This, unfortunately, was to his left of Navneet Dhaliwal. So we are being harsh.
Over-pitched and helped away through the offside 1 bounce. And 4, we were just saying off-air while we're on the ad break, we thought that it was going to be definitely spin coming in from this pavilion end. Nicholas Curtin seeing it differently, gone to Dylan Hayliger.
Yeah, and Dylan just, again, decent first delivery. This time going full change of length. And Akib Ilyas, what a shot that is. Stand and deliver stuff from Akib Ilyas. And you'd have to say, it's a tale of 2 different teams. It's a different Oman team than we saw yesterday, Lenny. This is a different Canada team that we saw in the ODIs as well, you would have to say.
And all of a sudden, I know there's still a lot of cricket to be played, but damage limitation might need to start to come to mind. For Canada, because Ilias is going after everything. Aaron Johnson's not going to be able to get there. We'll plug in the outfield and it'll be an easy couple. There is no man at deep square leg who would have been able to come in and maybe make a play on that. Instead, they've got deep fine leg out and deep third out. Very old-fashioned field. But the damage limitation I'm talking about is that if Oman chases down in a hurry, all of a sudden the No Frills T20 Cup table has a very different complexion to it.
Yeah, certainly each team will have one win and one loss if that was to happen. Canada, they have to keep an eye on that, but at the end of the day, just take net run rate out. You win all your games, you win the No Frills T20 Cup. It's going to be a tough task today, but somebody's got to put their hand up.
Runs continuing to come. They did just have a shuffle in the field there, deep. Backward square leg went out and fine leg came up into the circle. It looks certainly to me, well and all as Cally Ball, particularly at the death, that it's a pitch in which you prefer to be bowling spin on to take wickets.
Yeah, certainly. It's the variation in not only bounce, but the pace that it's spinning off of as well. It's not slow turn, it's zipping off that wicket with that dry surface. Makes it incredibly difficult to bat up against. And
now, pulled away. There is a man in place, and that sums it up for Kashyap Prajapati, doesn't it? In 2024, the short ball works. Dylan Hayliger has been in nothing but wicket-taking form, and it's an unlucky 13 for Oman's opener, who does hole out. And Canada finally have that first breakthrough.
You'd have to say a wicket from almost nowhere. Very similar to Aaron Johnson. Got it. He hit it, got it in the middle of the bat, but just not long enough. And the longest boundary out there, 65 meters, I believe, out there, Lenny. But right to the man, Parveen Kumar. Takes an easy catch in the end.
Good change in field, you'd have to say, from the captain of Canada. Got him right where he needed him to be. End of the stay at the crease for Kashyap Prajapati. He's gone for 13. It's 35 for 1.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go.
Let's go. Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
So Parveen Kumar took the catch. You'll just see that on the bottom of your screen now. As Prajapati falls for 13 off 11, and it will bring Shoaib Khan to the crease in this new role for him that we saw him perform yesterday up the order. Dilip Mendes, and indeed maybe Prabhuda Dasanayak I've decided to invest in. As it's a good finish to Hayliger's over, a wicket and a dot to round out the fifth. Oman, 35 for 1.
Welcome back to the action. Oman losing their first wicket in the over before the break. As Kashyap Prajapati was going well, we're also going to have a slight change in the comm box. It's Manali Patel joined alongside Vivek Jacob. Welcome, Vivek. Another interesting game, I should say. Shocker for Canada with the bat today.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't know if looking at the way Canada has performed today, it's hard to find that interest. Desperately needed that wicket. Oman were really running away with it. Strong start for the openers.
Pulled away, and it's in the gap. It's going to be one bounce, 4 runs. It's skipper Akib Ilyas as well. He's really on the offensive. He's picked up wickets. He's now part of the run getters. Oman are definitely going to feel that they're in a comfortable position here.
No question about it. And you look at it relative to Canada in their power play, had lost 3 wickets at this stage and were in deep trouble, going at less than 4 runs and over.
Played down the ground this time. Good cricket this. Get a boundary and pick up a single the next ball.
No question about it. And Ilyas leading from the front. Terrific knock so far really managing this chase superbly. 3 balls left in this over and this power play. Oman going at over 6 and over, so well in control.
Defensive, and there's definitely something there for the spinners, isn't there? We got a lot of return for the Oman bowlers in the first innings. Canada, partly good bowling, partly poor shot selection, but all in all, they really struggled in that first innings. Again, Parveen Kumar just testing that line just outside the off stump, taking the ball away from the right-hander.
That ball is such a tease. And just beating the outside edge. You can see Kumar itching to get that edge, itching to get another wicket. That could bring Canada back into this game.
It's going to be a dot ball to finish the 6th over. Oman 40 for 1. Quite refreshing, isn't it?
I'm an original Coke man.
Me too. I
So-
don't get this whole Coke Zero craze. I find if you're going Coca-Cola, you got to go with the original.
I tried it, but
Not
you know
for
what?
you.
Yeah,
Not for me either.
No.
Completely on the same page there.
yeah. Get those original bottles once in a while. I was in Peru recently and just seeing those vintage Coke bottles.
The glass ones.
Yeah. Sight for sore eyes.
Into the leg side, and the singles continue for Oman. No real pressure here from Canada, and it's a low-scoring game. They're going to... Well, it's got to be wickets, hasn't it? It's the only way Canada has a chance here.
No question about it. You've got a target that requires less than 6 runs and over. So the only way you're going to get back in this is to really mount that pressure with wickets and bowl this side out. You have to bowl them out. If it's as simple as this. If Oman is able to bat out 20 overs, they're going to get this target.
Again, easy runs there. Despite the speed that Navneet Dhaliwal came in with, they're picking up comfortable runs here. Is it just me, or does Coke actually taste better in those glass bottles?
I think you might be onto something. I think I'm with you on that.
I don't know if it's the childhood memories or what it is, but there's something there.
It's that nostalgia.
That's right.
Yeah. They squeeze it into that bottle.
Takes you back to the good old times. I think we're aging ourselves here a bit, though.
Yeah, probably. But hey, Canada right now, Dylan Hilliger itching for a breakthrough.
The gaps are just too easily on offer, aren't they here, Vivek?
It's all a bit too easy. Obviously, this is the first over after the power play. Field is spread. And so Oman happy to tick things over. They know they don't need to take any type of undue risk. Just manage this chase. Respect the good balls. If it's there to be hit, then sure, go after it. But there's absolutely no need to go outside their comfort zone.
Hitting the deck hard, Dylan Haliger, as he does so often. He's a big man, broad shoulders.
That caused a bit
Does
of
generate
discomfort.
extra bounce as well off the surface.
No question. Right at the chest. And again, for Oman, they can take those deliveries in stride. They know they're not in a situation where they have to force the action, that they've got to try and make something special happen with a delivery like that. They can just respect it and move on to the next ball.
Into the leg side, and we'll just wait to see if there might have been any bat on this, or if it's leg buys. It's leg buys. Umpire Arnold Medella out in the middle with Amol Butt.
And you see Dylan Hilliger, he's gone short here a few times. Obviously feels there's something in the works there. He's got a cover fielder. He's got someone at mid-wicket as well, Dhaliwal.
It's going to be a single to end the over. 7 overs gone. Canada 44 for 1. Correction, 75 for 1. Both openers between Kalim Sana and were typical opener Dylan Haliger came in first change today. 2 overs apiece for both Kalim Sana and Dylan Haliger. Praveen Kumar's bowled 3. Where do you think wickets are going to come here? Who's going to get the breakthrough for Canada? Because they do desperately need them.
Well, obviously we've got Praveen Kumar finishing off here. And then you've got to turn to your other 2 spinners, Insad bin Zafar, Harsh Thakur.
Well, that's guided fine, and that is going to run away to the boundary. Bit of a disappointing effort there. Was expecting a dive to come out and should not have gone to the boundary whatsoever. 4 runs picked up here off the bat of Akif Ilyas.
Did manage to get the slide in. He was just too far away. That was just too tough to catch. The ball was always running away. Outfield's played a bit quicker today.
Really releases the pressure as well, doesn't it? When you pick up that boundary in the over, Canada trying to build some pressure. The dot balls have been really rare.
Early in the over, when you get that boundary off one of those first 2 balls, you know you can sit pretty. And especially, again, 107 as a target, you've got to find a way to manufacture pressure. If you're the captain, Nick Curtin, you've got to go with unconventional feels in this moment.
What you suggest the field should be for Praveen Kumar? He's got 2 deliveries to come. Where are the chances coming?
Well, I think right now, you've got to tempt the batter to do something silly. And so, you know that if they can just push it down the ground, they're getting an easy single. Whether it's bringing the long on in or the long off, try to tempt them to go over. And create that desire to go for that extra bit of risk.
Well, it's going to be the end of Praveen Kumar's spell. 8 overs gone.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
Dylan Haliger comes in for his 3rd over. Got the 1 breakthrough of Kashyap Prajapati, and that's going to be 4 more runs. Missing his line, going down the leg. And it's Akif Ilyas again who says, thank you very much. I'm going to help it along and pick up another 4 runs for my side.
Yep, Akif Ilyas making it look easy. Finding the boundary. Beautiful flick there. Wasn't quite on leg stump, more middle and legging, but he was able to just maneuver well enough, and easy pickings there to the fence.
Well, when you've got such a small total to work with, you have to make sure the bowling is on target. Can't afford poor delivery going for 4 runs. This time also that leg stump line gets it a bit more square to Aaron Johnson in the deep.
Haliger is obviously trying to make a bit of an adjustment here. The previous over, we saw him go quite short, and now trying to go a bit fuller. Not quite able to find that probing length, that testing line, and just been able to easily flick off the pad so far for LAS.
Oh, getting in the bouncer. And the questions asked, I heard something. I don't know if that was bad or not, but did you hear that? There was a slight sound on that.
Ooh, I might have missed that one, like the umpire.
Like the umpire.
Well, you look, Haliger and Mova, they were definitely excited, even if it was slightly delayed.
We'll just take a look at that replay again. And it's off the shoulder. So it's not wrong about the sound.
Just not off the bat.
Just not off the bat.
Yeah, he's mixing it up. He's mixed it up quite a bit this over. He's gone full, he's gone length ball, he's gone short. The short one was the one that nicked the shoulder. And that's probably been his best option so far in this innings. Brought about the wicket as well.
Digs it in short again. He does intimidate, doesn't he? He's got the pace, he's got the bounce.
Well, a bit of a late call here. Umpire decides that's over the head and wide. Just doesn't look like Canada's day, does it?
But they're all a bit flat out there. I mean, yes, it's a low-scoring total, but they have to try and keep their spirits up. They've got to still believe that they can fight their way through this. And everyone's quite down. There's really no chatter out there. Very quiet. Few heads hanging low, and you just can't have that sort of approach because just the amount of difference in attitude when they were chasing that low total against Nepal compared to today. Yes, they're a few runs shy of what they had against Nepal, but just the overall approach was better that day. The belief, the intent was better. And the fact of the matter is these pitches aren't the easiest to bat on.
Beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips. Let's go! Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
Stod Zuffer. Oh, he's asked questions from the first ball of his spell.
And you wonder if this was a situation where could you have brought Saad in earlier? He's so good in these situations. You look at this pitch tailor-made for him, pitching on middle, turning away from the right-hander. Beautiful start.
A bit of flight on offer on that occasion. And a rocket arm from Nicholas Curtin. No surprise that Stod Zuffer took his hands right out of that one.
Wanted no
Move right out of the way for you. You've got a clear shot of the stumps. Wrong line. Straying into the leg side, and it allows for an easy single. Just have to try and be as consistent as possible here, Canada, if they're to give themselves a chance.
And if you look at it in this situation, he won't mind having Ilyas off striking.
That's exactly why he's the danger man. Beautiful shot again. 4 runs picked up for Akib Ilyas, and he placed that to absolute perfection.
Get a look at the replay here. Just really well guided down to the fence. Too short and pretty easy pickings. Saad bin Zafar won't be happy with his last couple of deliveries. The first 2 were on point, but he'll want to get back on track right here.
They need 44 off 61 deliveries after that single, Oman. And you've got to give them the credit today. They've really showed up bat, ball, and in the field. They were spectacular in the field today compared to yesterday against Nepal. And when you hold on to those catches, it's really a different story, isn't it?
They were
chipping away at the wickets.
They were tremendous in the field.
Cut away again, just a little too short and a little too wide, and 2 very similar shots. 2 boundaries here for Saad bin Zafar, and it's turning out to be a bit of an expensive over. At the end of 10, Canada are 67 for 1. We're also going to...
T20 is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Canada needs more cricket. Outside! TD, ready for you.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
All new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Beba is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. It's a no-frill thing to do.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go!
Let's go! Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Well, halfway through the chase, in theory, in terms of the number of overs that Oman have to utilise, but they could be looking to get this chase done an awful lot quicker than that, because they are right on top. 67 for 1. Akib Ilyas, their captain, is leading the way. He's played really nicely with 45 off just 33 deliveries, and even though Saad bin Zafar found a lot of sharp turn and bounce in his opening over, he wasn't able to find a breakthrough and conceded 2 boundaries just before the drinks break. Canada, well, they're having a day to forget here, as we are going to guide you through the next passage of play, with Oman likely to take their first T20I win on the tour. Andrew Leonard here, alongside Vivek Jacob. Vivek, this has been, well, not exactly what we predicted coming into today, is it?
No, you'd have thought Canada were coming in as hot favorites, and Oman, especially off the back of the loss to Nepal and the way this entire tour has gone, you would not have anticipated this today, but they have been excellent. They were excellent with the ball in the field, and now they're backing it up with the bat. Really a complete performance, and now you're in a situation where you can actually start to think about the net run rate a little bit.
And I think that has to be now a consideration. For Oman, it might not be at the front of their mind because they've just been so shy of winning form. As this is tickled around the corner for what will just be a single. They're probably just going to be thinking about, okay, well, can we make sure we get across the line, firstly, because wins are not coming easy in 2024, particularly for Oman away from home. But if they could get this done in, let's say, what do they need, 39, if they could even just go on a run of ball, get it done in the 16th, something like that. This is swept, I think this is swept off the back of the bat, and we're going to have a rather bizarre couple of runs added to the total.
And you can see Canada playing almost as if they need 9 wickets in one ball. You're not going to get back in this match. You can't take 9 without taking 1 first, and that's got to be the focus for them right now.
Yeah, definitely a shy spinning option. You'd suspect Ansh Patel, remember, left out today. You just wonder, will Nicholas Curtin think about maybe a wild card here? Do you think he might have a bowl himself, or maybe even give Dilpreet Badra the ball?
There's a potential opportunity for the skipper to get himself in. Obviously, we saw him throw the ball to even Aaron Johnson during the ODIs, and Aaron Johnson didn't look too bad either. So there's definitely more spin options in the cabinet if Curtin would like to go there. But with the way proceedings have been so far, it's not looking good.
Well, Manali Patel was convincing me, absolutely convincing me, that Navneet Dhaliwal was going to have a bowl during the ODIs. It didn't happen. Harsh Thacker is now limping, and he's got a ball to bowl. This may be a little recurrence of that knee injury. Who's going to bowl the ball? Manali's praying. She's praying at the back of the commentary box. She's saying, go on, give it to Navneet Dhaliwal for one ball. I'll prove Lenny wrong.
Well, it looks like we've got Harsh ready to finish it off. At least this ball.
Concerning signs with a couple of games left. I think Harsh Thacker is going to walk straight off for treatment here. Does battle through the over. 5 runs come from his first, and he is going off the field. It's 72 for 1.
Seba is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken.
Sad Bin Sapar to bowl the next over. Still no sign of some of the wild cards. Navneet Dhaliwal, 4 T20I wickets to his name in his career. He was never going to bowl in the ODIs, whatever Manali Patel said.
And this is where you wonder if Canada can just get a bit more aggressive with the field. They've got to make something happen out of nowhere. That's the type of situation it is.
Are they actually into damage limitation here? Or are they almost mentally writing off the fact that they can pull this one out of the fire? It would have to be a quite ludicrous comeback. And are they now saying we've got to drag it out as deep as we can? They're thinking about net run rate Canada.
That's certainly a possibility, but you wouldn't want that mindset, especially with a team that has been undefeated so far across the ODIs and, of course, the first T20 against Nepal. You'd like to see a bit more pressure being put on these Omani batsmen so far.
Now down the track, Shoaib Khan. He cashes in. Really good footwork. We've seen a few go over the retaining net. Add that one to the list. Oh, that's a fantastic strike from Shoaib Khan.
That was absolutely tremendous. And you talk about putting Saad bin Zafar under pressure. That's not an easy thing to do. He's such an economical bowler. And just a brilliant opportunity presented. Able to come down the pitch and take it way over long on, as you mentioned, well over the protective cover that we've got. And we're going to need a new ball.
How high is that net? Come on, I was talking to Arslan about that yesterday. It's got to be 20 metres, doesn't it?
That's, I think, a good call. That seems about right, just looking at it.
I reckon that sight screen we have where Jeremy, our cameraman's up on top, I think that's 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you could...
Might even be a little bit more than 20.
Yeah, maybe 22.
Wonder what Manali Patel thinks about it. She doesn't do meters, so there we are already. There's never... I tell you what I'm feeling right now, Vivek. Forget about the cricket for a moment. I'm feeling a gaping hole in my heart because we've been doing such brilliant work on these T20s and we're loving every second, but I haven't been able to be on air with Manali at all. They keep keeping us apart. I can't wind her up. I can't pull her leg.
I guess I'm getting in the way. I guess I'm the awkward third wheel here.
No, not at all. I need my daily fix. Now I'm getting on the car journey the way out, but it's not on air. We do love Manali Patel's thoughts. We love having her with us, as we've really enjoyed having you, Vivek Jacob, and indeed Arslan Kadir. And what about Matt Bonner? What a great addition he's been.
He's fantastic, and he brings that different perspective. Obviously, comes from a basketball background, but he's really taken to cricket, and it's great to see that type of enthusiasm.
I tell you, his optimism and positivity towards the game has been an absolute ray of light here. Something that I think I've got to say, everyone I meet in USA or Canada who's never experienced cricket before, they seem to be incredibly positive and open to the sport once they're introduced to it. Oman are in cruise control here. They've been brilliant. It's another good over. 9 come from it. It's 81 for 1. To his Wikipedia page.
Wow.
Like Steph Curry christened him the other one, wasn't it? The red... What was it?
So there's the Red Mamba.
Mamba was the one that Steph Curry...
There's the Red Rocket.
Red Rocket was the fact he took the
TTC.
the local.
Yeah. He's...
I didn't think I could love him anymore. Now, change in bowling. It is... Aaron Johnson, not Navneet Dhaliwal. Oh, Manali Patel was on the edge of her seat. She thought it was a moment.
What do I win?
Vivek Jacobs got it right. And here is Aaron Johnson with his little off breaks around the wicket. Now, we hadn't seen him bowl before in ODI cricket. He bowled 4 very effective overs there. And that is going to be 50 for Rakib Ilyas. He has helped turn it all around for his nation. It's come from 40 deliveries. It has contained 6 4s and 1 6. He is a class apart, isn't he, with the bat? It's his 10th T20 I-50, and he's Oman's very best.
Rakib Ilyas, just a fantastic knock, leading from the front, and that's what you want to see. .50 off 40, 6 4s, a 6, striking at 125. And you look at Oman, a side desperate to get over the line. You need your captain playing a knock like this in a chase to back up that brilliant bowling and fielding effort.
Guided away for a quick single, and the reality is Oman can just coast now. They'd be interesting to see if Rakib Ilyas just kind of plays for a not out and some red ink, or will he look to go through the gears a touch here. This is Aaron Johnson's first ever bowl in T20I cricket. He's yet to take a wicket in the international game. A little bit more than part-time off breaks. They're kind of darts, aren't they? They're not really turning them.
They are. He is trying to come quicker with them. There's no real flight to it. But you can see maybe Curtin thinking, oh, they've got the chase almost complete. Maybe they try something silly.
I think also Johnson looks to be someone who can be relied upon for a couple of economical overs. As there's a bullet in an arm from the deep. I think, is that the subfielder right there?
Yeah, it looks to be Ravinder Pal Singh who's come in.
Smashes it into his foot. Great over from Aaron Johnson, just 3 runs from it. That will help the net run rate scenario, at least for Canada. It's 84 for 1. Saad bin Safar will continue. You see all the spinners that are being bowled and the part-time option of Johnson turn 2. Is that an admission, a little bit of a kind of doff of the cap from Nicholas Curtin? He's got his team selection wrong today?
Yeah, no question. I think even just looking at that over, he's probably thinking, will someone look at Aaron Johnson and try to do something silly?
Credit to Shoaib Khan. He's not doing anything particularly quickly out there, but he hasn't needed to. He just provided support for Aqib Ilyas, who, well, I don't think there's many who play better than him in the associate game. He hasn't played particularly well since taking on the captaincy, but he is a class act with bat and ball, and indeed in the field. I'm not sure if the captaincy has lumbered him a touch and maybe hasn't played with great freedom, but this is a vintage Ilyas innings today.
And it's always an adjustment, taking on that additional responsibility.
And Khan goes downtown again, and he's going to get it over the retaining net again. Nearly an action replay. It's the second lost ball. Well, it sums up Canada's day. They have been nowhere here.
And Oman have been everywhere. All over Canada. Just a tremendous performance from start to finish. You look at this replay here. Saad bin Zafar again. Just plenty of room for Shoaib to do plenty of damage. And again, we've got to look at new balls. Saad bin Zafar won't be happy. 29 runs off his 2.4 overs thus far.
You look at the body language as well from Canada. It's kind of, it's like a flashback to a month ago. It's like we're back in Utrecht or in Rotterdam or in Voorburg.
Yeah, I think when you look at this situation, it was almost like if they didn't meet that target in the power play of getting 3, maybe 4 wickets early on, that they felt that the game would be gone. And once that happened, you saw the shoulders dip, you saw the field spread, no real pressure being applied, no real inventiveness in trying to make something happen. And even now, when you look at the field, it's more about run prevention. And of course, at this point, the game is pretty much over.
Well, yeah, both batters now will just be desperate to have a bit of red ink next to their name, and they'll deserve it. Oman have roundly outplayed Canada in every department, and they are blowing this no-frills T20 Cup wide open. We'll have to leave it to the calculators to see who's going to be on top of the table. I think Nepal might be on top of the table at the end of the day, and it's going to be another monster. 6 more. It's going to leave it with just 8 runs required to win, as Shoaib Khan is going through the gears. Saad bin Safar's day, well, it's not getting any better. It's 99 for 1.
Well, the shots have really come in style today, as this one goes for another maximum. Right on top of that sight screen. And Saad Zafar, well, he's gone for a few runs today. We're going to have another change in the comm box as RC joins us. Welcome, RC.
Thanks, Manali. What a great way for 2 Canadians to end off what has been, you would have to say, an utterly disappointing performance by this Canadian national squad. A lot more questions than answers today. You felt as though coming into this series, they had gotten a lot of answers to the ODI series. And in this T20 format, just a lot of concern, a lot of cause for concern in this performance.
Well, the batting has struggled in this T20 series, even against Nepal, despite the win that they pulled off. The reality is it wasn't the batting. It was some really good bowling. And this is going to be a mix-up. This is going to be a mix-up. We're going to see another wicket for Oman when they're so close to the target here. It's going to be the skipper, Aqib Ilyas, after a fantastic knock, a half century to him today. But Canada do get a breakthrough here. Might be a little too late as they pick up the second wicket for Oman.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed not to walk off alongside his partner, Shoaib Khan, winning this game. But it was a different Aqib Ilyas today. You saw him after he scored that half century. He gave himself a little fist pump. He knew that his team needed a performance and an unfortunate way to get out, but he's put his team in a very strong position. Have a look at this one, Ollie.
Just a total mix-up, and it's the skipper, Nick Curtin. He's quick, very athletic, and good awareness from Aaron Johnson to realize that the throw should have gone to the striker's end. Stranded in no man's land, Akibilias goes for 53 runs today. He's had a good outing. Captain's play today, captain's knock, captain's leadership all over the game for Oman today with bat and bowl from him. 99 for 2 Oman. They need 8 more to cross over the line.
We heard from Lenny. This tournament now, the Snow Frills T20 Cup, it's been blown wide open.
It was a slow delivery through the air from Aaron Johnson. I think it might be Nepal on top after this loss. Canada taking a big defeat here. Not over yet. But with just 7 more required, with plenty of deliveries and plenty of wickets in hand, you feel that Oman are going to sail home here.
100 up for Oman in the 15th over. And Shoaib Khan, he's been in a hurry last few overs. He took a real liking to Saad Zafar. I suspect Manali, he'd want to get this done in a hurry here.
Oh, and that's going to be put down. It's Nicholas Curtin at point. It went straight to him. You could see the disappointment written all over his face. Normally, he would have backed himself 10 out of 10 times to take that. But when things are not going your way, they are really not going your way.
Well, I've seen 2 fielders drop catches in 2 days that you would never, ever think you'd see. Deepinder Singh Ari yesterday and Nicholas Curtin today.
But that kind of sums up the game for Canada, doesn't it? It's also going to be the end of the 15th over. Oman 100 for 2.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
Seven runs required here for Oman to get home. And a lot of questions for Canada to ask after this game. The squad really showing some weakness in the batting. And I think the coach is going to have to figure out a game plan here as they head into the next round of games. Well, this is a no ball. There is a chance the catch is taken, but it effectively means nothing because Dilpreet Bajwa, coming into his spell, the first delivery, he's bowled a no ball. And as a spinner, that is a big, big problem, isn't it?
Sums up Canada's day, doesn't it, Manali? Spinners bowling no ball. They just haven't looked up to par whatsoever today. From ball 1, I called it early when Lenny and I were on air to begin this game. Just the confidence of Aaron Johnson, the lack of confidence, I should say.
Well, this is going to be 5 wides. 5 wides, which means the free hit continues in the next delivery, and this toss-up of bringing Dilpreet Bajwa is turning out to be a rather costly one for Nick Curtin. And that is 107 reached, the total required for Oman. They get home in pretty unceremonious fashion. Some confusion out there whether this is game or not. Canada have completed this game. Oman have come out on top with those 5 wides.
Well, we'll have to take a look, Manali, but I believe this is Dilpreet Bajwa's first over in T20 international cricket, and he hasn't actually bowled the ball. He has not bowled a legal delivery. First, no ball, and then the 5 wide. So it's tough to have an economy, right? Apologies, we're just taking a look at that. He has bowled once before, so just hurting the overall stats. 0.047 is the shout. But Oman deserved the win. It would have been great to have Akib Ilyas out there to lead the team off. But instead, it'll be Zishan Maksud and Shoaib Khan. What a win for Oman here.
This is a big, big win for Oman. And they really did come out with some serious business in mind. In fact, speaking to Akib Ilyas at the post-match presentation against Nepal yesterday, he did say he was very disappointed with the way his team went about the business. Very disappointed with the catches that they dropped yesterday, and overall not well executed with the bat. Today, they've turned absolutely all of that around. They've come in with the ball, they've come in with the bat. Winning the toss helped 100%, and they were electric in the field as well. All in all, a well-rounded performance for Oman to come out on top of this contest. It also means that Nepal now go top of the table.
Nepal go top of the table, and they'll be in action tomorrow. But we've seen so far back-to-back days, Manali, the team playing in the back-to-back games in their second game has been able to turn it around overnight. We saw Nepal do it yesterday. We now see Oman do it today.